Hello and welcome to this session of Hearts of Wulin, Tournament of Vengeance. This is a one-shot for Gauntlet Community Open Gaming, which is the Gauntlet's Open Gaming weekend that we do a couple of times a year. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and you can find out more about this event, the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com. You can check that out there. So what I'm going to be doing today is giving my spiel to start, which is involve going over our sort of CATS document about what the game is about, talking about the safety tools we're going to be using, and then we're going to be doing character creation, which will be choosing our playbooks, making choices on that, doing some introductions, and then building entanglements, which is something I'll come back to. Generally, once we've got the character creation done, we'll take our first break, which is usually about 10 minutes. And then within the span of our session, we'll take one or two more breaks that will be 5-minute breaks throughout. Because this is a one shot, when we get to the last 30 minutes of play, I keep a pretty tight eye on the clock. When we get to that last 30 minutes of play, I may hard frame the scenes a little bit more, directing characters into position so we can kind of get to a resolution. But I'll give you a heads up when we get to there. But that's generally how we're going to be playing today. So this is Hearts of Wulin. It is a game in which you're playing martial heroes, like those you might have seen in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or Hero, or in recent years, we've had a lot more of these wuxia TV dramas available, some based on older novels by Jin Fang and Gulong, a set of authors that worked in the 50s, 60s, and 70s in Hong Kong that sort of set the template for these kinds of stories. And then more recently, light novels and web novels that have been adapted into series like the Untamed, and I would recommend on YouTube, Ancient Detective is Agatha Christie meets wuxia, and it's dynamite. It's a great show. I came to this from those long form drama adaptations. I love them. And so I wanted to do these kinds of stories. This is a fantastic version of classical China. As Wulin heroes, you exist outside of the normal order of society, both the sort of imperial society and regular society. You are strong, potent heroes with amazing skills, but all of that is undercut by your own heart. You find it difficult to talk about your passions, about your feelings. When you have to talk about those things, you address them obliquely. You can't quite say them directly. And that's all tangled up with your duties to your family, your duties to your sworn brethren, your duties to the faction or sect or clan that you belong to. Those all come into conflict with your desires and your emotions. So that's the kind of story that we're going to be playing out today. Our particular story is this. You're going to a tournament that is being put on in honor of a wedding that is joining two clans. You may be going to participate in the tournament, but I suspect that you have other reasons, other agendas for why you are going there, possibly matters of your own heart, desire, loves, and all of that. To make it easier, when we get to the section where we talk about entanglements and things, on the character keeper, you'll see I have an NPCs tab that is filled with beautiful people of all kinds, all descriptions there. Later on, when you make your entanglements and kind of figure out about how you're related to some NPCs and PCs, go ahead and use these people. We've got the names, we've got pictures, and you can decide what they're like. But just wanted to reference that is there as a resource that we have. The other resource that we have as we go along, we have a entanglements and names tab. I'll come back to how entanglements work, but if you need references for names, we've got women's names, men's names, and then what I call martial or honor names on there as well, just to give you some ideas and some examples. So all of those resources are there. So we will begin with character creation. You'll choose a playbook. Each playbook of the 6 that are available have a role that kind of says what particular kind of person they are. For example, we have the loyal, who's sort of a very classic stoic character, but you might be a loyal swordsman, someone who focuses just on the blade, or you might be a magistrate type. So there are those choices. Generally, we ask in a one-shot that everybody plays a different playbook, and you'll choose a playbook and a role. That'll give you that role move. And then you'll also get 2 moves from the playbook. You can choose those during character creation, or you can choose those on the fly, however you want to do that. Once we get those set, we get the stats set, we'll have everybody do introductions. And once that's done, we'll do those entanglements. So entanglements are a triangle. They are a relationship that you have with one person that is complicated by the presence or interference or existence of a third person. So they are all triangles. You will have one that is romantic, and you will have one that is sort of general. We ask that when we come to those entanglements that you put one of the other PCs in at least one of those relationships. So you've got room for 3 NPCs. You can put PCs in more than one. It's up to you. I also want to say that romantic can also mean just strong love, devotion, passion, not necessarily sexual. For characters that you feel are more ace or aromantic, you can do it that way. If you want to just focus on strong friendship and desire, that's entirely up to you how you want to define that. So that's our big thing. Our sort of setup. That's the concept, our aim. The tone is melodrama. And in melodrama, all of our stories, our passions, our emotions, our reactions are heightened. Our characters have to maintain their facade in the face of this, but those passions are driving who they are. It is a game that should be played straight. It's serious but not grim. There's certainly room for humor and joking, but it may wildly switch. In one scene, you may be laughing with your friend, and in the next scene, you're cradling your dead lover in your arms. So it can turn depending on how those things occur. It's not always heartbreak. You may succeed. You may be able to break through these things and connect yourselves to others in that. One thing that is a genre detail of this that seems comedic, but it plays across is if someone is wearing a disguise, regardless of how minimal it is, if it's a fake mustache or a hat, whatever, no one can recognize them. That is one of the genre conventions that we always keep in mind. Subject matter: our stories are going to involve combat to settle issues large and small, but fighting will be sort of complementary to that. So those are kind of the basics. I do want to say this: we are emulating a genre of drama, a foreign genre of drama, and I am super white, and I want to acknowledge that right away. I am aiming to treat this subject matter, this style with respect, and I hope we all can do that. With that, we can all do voices. That's fine, but we want to make sure that we avoid anything like accents when we play. I know all of you are cool with that, but I just want to make sure that I've said that aloud. Because this is a one-shot game and an online con, and we have a layered set of safety tools. I use these in all the games that I run online. The first layer are the lines and veils. You'll see a tab for that in the character keeper. That's the very first tab. Lines are anything we don't want to see at all in play. Veils are anything that we want to fade to black, or we want to handle it obliquely if they were to come up. And ask first would be if someone wants to bring that up as a topic or an idea, we want to definitely check in with people on that. Throughout the character creation process, feel free to mark in on the lines and veils tabs for things you feel strongly about. And if there's anything that isn't on the list that you want to add in, feel free to add those as well. I will go through those after we do the introductions. I'll get that before we do the entanglements. That's complemented by the X card, which I know you are familiar with. In this case, you can say X card, or we could do the X card gesture to mark that out. You can use it for material that you find objectionable, problematic, sexist, things that are wildly off tone, a play that is intrusive. Any of those things we can mark with the X card. You never have to defend your decision. The only question we might ask is, how far back do we want to roll to fix the situation? An X card is great, especially if in the heat of play, maybe we're heading towards a line or a veil and we haven't quite caught it. It's a good time to X card and maybe point out that, hey, I think we're starting to hit towards something that we want to be alert about. The last safety tool is the open door policy, which means if you have to step away, if you have to leave for whatever reason, you can go. You should go. Absolutely. It'd be great if you could say, hey, we'll be right back, or whatever, but you're not obliged to do that. Just know that this system is set up to allow for that. It also means that if we hit the break and you're like, this is not the game I want to be playing. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. Feel free to say, thank you, I'm not coming back. It is absolutely fair to that. You should never play in an RPG that you're not enjoying. You should always feel free to leave from those things. So those are the safety tools that we have in play. What I want to do now is talk about character creation. Max, let me ask you, you've played PbtA before, have you?
No.
Okay, so in PbtA, mostly what we're doing is kind of a narration of incidents, telling me what you want to do, and at some point I will kind of point us towards what we call moves, which are moments where we resolve things. And we've got the playbook moves for the different groups. You have some special things you can do, and then we've got some general moves that will occur. But basically, it's a conversation, and then at a certain point, I'll kind of drive you to, okay, I think we probably need to go to the dice for resolution on this. What I'd like for everybody to do is, we've got on the character keeper, on the characters tab, we've got those 5 columns. If everyone could go ahead and choose one of those colors, those columns for that. And I want to go around and see if people have a sense maybe of what playbook they want. I'm going to give the briefest of descriptions of what those 6 playbooks are, the 6 kinds of characters that you can play. The first is the aware. The aware is our kind of scholarly character. It includes the master, the teacher, the traveler who's going around, who's using wisdom and thought to solve problems. They are focused on that. The next archetype, the next playbook, is the Bravo. The Bravo is the character that really likes to live life to the fullest. It includes the favorite eldest. They are the most beloved of their family. It includes the person who has a secret life as a thief, and it includes the person who's just traveling around to have a good drink. Those are the roles within the Bravo. Then we have the Loyal. This is the most classic archetype. You are the devoted child to your family, or you're a magistrate or an official working for some group, or you're just someone dedicated to the sword. The Loyal is focused on staying true to those rules that they live by. On the other hand, the Outsider playbook, the archetype, are people who, even in the world of Wulin, which is outside of the normal world, they are sort of apart from it. They have broken away, they have rebelled against it, or they've left their clan and they're simply wandering. These are people who are slightly askew. The Student is our 5th playbook. These are the characters that want to learn. They use innocence and naivete and just a desire to experience the world to serve them well. Might be a hopeful apprentice, you might be a wanderer from a temple, or you might just be the youngest child of a family. Those are the 5 very classic ones. The last playbook is the weirdest one. It is the unorthodox. It has 3 archetypes in it. The accidental is actually sort of more of a comedy version. This is a character who doesn't actually know martial arts, but just happens to fall through and make do in those situations. We also have the hidden. This is a person who has hidden their identity, has hidden their martial skills. They might appear to be a martial artist, but not the kind of martial artist that they've been in their past. Maybe there's a criminal history. Maybe there's tragedy in their backstory. For whatever reason, they've hidden themselves away. And then the prodigy is our young character who has somehow been gifted with strength, gifted with power that is kind of beyond them. So they can do great things, but they may also overdo it because they don't know how to control themselves. So I'm going to kind of go in order of people who came into the call. Greg, tell me, have you thought about like what playbook or playbooks you've been thinking about or are interested in, having heard this? You are muted.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I like to go random. So I'm fine with other people choosing theirs and then, working with what's left.
Okay. All right. Dave, are any of these appealing to you?
Yeah, I'm thinking I might go student.
Student? Okay. Good call. Mindy, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking outsider.
Okay. Outsider. Max, any of those 4 that we have left appeal to you?
I think maybe I will try the Bravo.
Okay. Excellent. So Greg, we have cut the choices down by half. What do you want of the 3 that are remaining?
I will be loyal.
Loyal. All right. So here's what I'm going to set you to do. There is a tab called Character Creation that walks through the steps. You're going to find a name for your character. You're going to choose one of those roles that you have from within that playbook, and you'll cut and paste that onto the role move that's on your character column. You'll come up with a fighting style for your character, which means you're going to choose a name for it. You're going to choose what kind of weapon you're using: bare hands, staff, saber, whatever. And you'll also choose an element for it. Elements are our stats. They are fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. They abstractly represent sort of feelings and emotions and like how you're doing or why you're doing something. But in the case of your style, your combat style, your element kind of tells us what it looks like. If you have a fire style, it's likely to be fast, quick. If you have a metal style, it might be more calculated, planned out. With those elements, those 5 stats that you have, you're going to assign numbers to them. You're going to have a +2. 2 of your stats are going to be at +1. You're going to have a 0 and then a -1. And then you're going to choose a couple of moves from your playbook. So you're going to go up to number 4 on the character creation sort of checklist there. Do those. And then once that's done, we'll go through and have everybody introduce their character, and then we'll move to entanglements. Any questions before I kind of let you go? Okay, I'm going to sit here in awkward silence for a while. If you have questions, just say so. I'm actually going to pause the recording right now. If you have questions for me about what you need to do, just say so. If you have some things that you don't kind of get to make choices wise in this, feel free to make those choices on the fly as we're playing through.
Want to pick a color?
I already jumped on red. I think Greg jumped on
Okay.
one. If you look on row 1,
Okay.
or I guess Greg put his name on row 2, but Max is on row 2.
I see you're
Yeah,
on
player.
red.
Name goes on 2, player.
Oh, okay. I did it backwards, I guess.
Ah,
So,
great.
so
Okay,
I think,
got it.
Mindy, you have
X, okay.
the last one.
Apparently I have the last
You
one.
are
Okay,
salmon.
good. Wonderful.
Such as it is.
Wonderful.
All right, I'm going to pause the recording. So, Dave, you've made the choice of putting yourself in the first column, which is always a perilous choice because you now have to go first.
Getting
This
the
is-
tyranny of the left to right.
Yes, we work that way, left to right. Dave, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
I'm Dave. I have chosen the student, a temple wanderer named Li Baoshan, and
He, him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am sort of starting out envisioning this character as having been not necessarily disgraced, but strongly encouraged to leave his temple. And so he presents somewhat aesthetically, not aesthetically, but aesthetically. He's got simple temple clothes. He doesn't have a lot. I noticed many of the pictures we had in their PC tab were very, very lush and flamboyant, very very posh. He's none of that. He's very very down to earth.
So how young are you imagining? Is he's sort of that 18-year-old having left the temple, or has he been on the road a little bit longer? What are you imagining there?
That's a good question. Yeah, I imagine 16 to 18,
Okay.
maybe advanced in the study of the temple, but the master there was uncomfortable with the way that relationship was working out, and sent him on his way to seek wisdom elsewhere.
How did you come to be in the temple? Like from an orphan, or were you from a family that put you in the temple, or from nobility, or mysterious child on the doorstep?
I imagine for him it was a calling. He's sort of, I think pious is the wrong word, but he's a sort of a born student. It was just a natural calling.
But from
a
peasant family, middle class. What are we imagining there?
Yeah, I would imagine he has siblings who are maybe successful business people, possibly moderately powerful magistrates, and he's sort of the black sheep of a, say, upper middle class family.
Okay. And your role move allows you to kind of be greeted as a member of a temple and treated well on that. What were the other playbook moves that you chose?
I chose the proud youth and sacrifice. Should I get into the details here?
Just the most basic of it, like
right.
Generally,
the proud youth allows him to get +1 ongoing on a problem when he seeks advice from an elder. Sacrifices when I mark wounded. I guess my sacrifice is noteworthy or noted by the rest of the team. So all the allies gain +1 forward.
And what fighting style are you trained in? What's your style? What weapon do you use?
I'm going with improvised. I'd considered staff, but I see Ming's picked up staff, and I didn't want to be too. I see improvised showed up. I wasn't being so unique after all. I imagine him as part of his aesthetic presentation. He's going to go without the benefit of the staff that the temple implements, and just work with whatever he's got on hand.
And is that something that the temple trained, or is that something that you yourself kind of have picked up?
That's a good question. I'm going to say it was not necessarily the focus of the temple, but something that was the seed of which occurred to him at the temple, but that he's perfected over his time on the road.
And Wood, that's an interesting one. Do you think that's more about the patience side of that, or the curiosity side of that? Where does that fall in terms of that being the element that defines your style?
Right. I think it's a faith that he will find when he needs along the way.
When people meet him, what's their first impression? Is it of youth? Is it of naivete? Is it of seriousness? Is it of stoicism? What do they think?
I think maybe stoicism is a little strong. I think he probably seems a little tightly wound.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, naivete I think definitely plays in. I mean, that's the basis of this role. I think I would imagine there are some who see him and think he's maybe a little more sure of himself than he should be.
Okay. I like tightly wound. That's a good phrase there for that. So I think that gives us a strong picture of your character. I'm going to have everyone else introduce themselves. Then I'll go through the Legends of Veils, and then we'll go through and do entanglements. So while other people are talking, if you look on the entanglements tab, I have some example entanglements broken down by the different playbooks. For the romantic in general, you can take a look at those, see if any of those appeal to you. Again, you're going to want to include a PC in one of them, at least. And if none of those appeal, there's a big old list down below. You can scroll even further. So it's all there. There's so much stuff. All right. Let us come to Greg. Greg, tell us about your character. You are muted.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm Greg, he, him, and how do you, is it Jin Fang or Jin Fing, or how is it pronounced?
Since it's English transcription, you can say however you want to pronounce that. I think in that Fang, however you want to say that.
What how is it? What,
I've heard it as Fang generally,
okay.
but I could be wrong.
Okay, I'll do Jin Fang, and he's an official. Look, his stern grin, unflinching gaze, and modest official garb. And what I picture is he, maybe you can help me out with the type of official, but he travels.
Mm-hmm.
He yeah, so he travels for his job, doesn't get to put down roots. So maybe he's some sort of military. Maybe not, or I don't know.
Collector?
Yeah, tax collector. Yeah, some sort of enforcer.
Okay.
That is.
Tax collector is classic. They are often put upon. Chinese Ghost Story. That film has a tax collector as its central protagonist. Yeah, that's a good
He's
one.
A tax collector. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, he doesn't like being the tax collector.
Okay.
Right. That's not a fun job.
Right.
And so his fighting style is stern boa.
Okay.
And what I think I would just what I pictured is he has a rope with a small hook-like blade, but this isn't flowing rope. This is like binding kind of thing. And I think what it is I don't know, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or other things where it's like he fights like a chess game, right? That he does things that limit the person's options until they have no choice.
So very a cautious style, trying to restrain, trying to keep their emotions down, entangling them, binding them up. Now, this style, is this something that was taught to you as a style of your office, or is this something you learned growing up? How did you come to learn that?
We'll say this was taught to him by his father. And, you know, maybe his father might be the reason why he's a tax collector as well.
Okay. So a family line, did you, and you're saying this is something maybe you did not want to do, but you did anyway, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking he moves around a lot, and really he's somebody that wants to put down roots. Like he wants to put down roots and provide for people. So like maybe he'd rather own a bar somewhere.
Okay. And I would you say young 20s, I'm guessing, is from the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the magistrate role move allows you to call on things for as an authority, the people in the local populace. What did you choose for your playbook moves?
And actually, I'm thinking maybe not young 20s. We'll say older 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. I looked at all those pictures. I'm like, God, am I old or are these people young?
Yes.
It's gonna give me a complex.
They have much better makeup artists than we do.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's right.
So, so Strife for Mastery is basically when he gives an order based on authority, they respect. On a hit, they kind of have to do it. And so, yeah. And then next is Trail of the Everlasting Hero. When you hunt somebody, roll. On a hit, you know exactly where to find them and track them until you do, etc.
Mhm.
Do you think you've done this tax collecting for a while?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm thinking, like late 20s.
Okay.
Okay. He's done this around that he knows the job, and he knows he doesn't like it.
Okay. I think that gives us enough to work with, to give us an idea of who your character is. Again, we'll come back to you with entanglements. You can take a look at those examples on that entanglements tab there. Max, can you introduce yourself and introduce what you're thinking of for your character?
Okay. And I'm not sure I have all my moves figured out, but
Sure.
let's see. Okay, so my name is Forsaken Crow. And I'm wondering about the idea of actually being of unknown gender and
Absolutely.
how that would work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being ambiguous in gender is a classic trope within this. I think it's reasonable to play as they, them, and also say ambiguous.
Okay. So we'll try that.
Okay.
So I am in the role of Bravo, and I've chosen the Gallivant move, which basically means I'm traveling around from place to place, having a good time.
Okay.
And I have a bad reputation, which adds to my aura. In terms of appearance, since I'm supposedly leaving a trail of broken hearts, I decided that I must have long flowing locks and a relaxed smile, and I have tattoos. And I wear clothing that shows my bare arms. But I'm also, traveling around from place to place, so I'm a little road worn. But that just adds to my charm, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just that little bit of dirt on the, to strategically placed.
That's right. In terms of my fighting style, so I named it Crow Feet.
Okay.
And what I'm imagining is the way that crows like to pick stuff up and throw stuff. And so it feels very improvisational, like whatever's at hand, I will pick up and use in whatever way I can. And the element I chose is fire.
That makes sense.
I like the creativity.
Yeah. Do you think this is something that you picked up on the road, or were you taught this? Is this like a style that's known in an order?
Good question. Yeah, I think that I did have a teacher at some point, but I have left because I'm just too much of a gallivant.
Okay.
So I think that I did have a teacher, I've left, and now I've been sort of learning on my own for a while.
Do you think that you came from like a wealthy background before you took this up, or
Yeah, it seems likely.
okay, so you're used to the good life?
Yes.
What's your dominant color? Is it black like the crow, or is it something else?
Yeah, I'll say black like the crow. That sounds
Okay. Okay. All right. And we can have you decide your playbook moves. You can choose them on the fly as we're playing along, and you kind of go, oh, this seems like a good one. So
Okay.
you don't necessarily have to pick those right now.
Okay.
Let me see what else I want to ask. When someone looks at you, what do they think your age is? Do they think you're very youthful? Do you think you're in the late 20s or older? What do they see?
I think I am. I think what people see is that I am Mature but youthful. So I'm gonna say like mid to late 20s.
Okay. All right. I think that gives us a strong sense of your character. We'll come back to you when we start asking about entanglements. And that brings us last but not least to Mindy.
Hello. My character is Ming Young Sung, and I'm unlike the rest of the characters. I am old.
Whoa,
Pronouns?
you're 35?
Yes.
Man.
Ancient.
Ancient.
Is she, her, or
She, her.
Okay,
Yep.
sure. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
But she is an outsider, a wanderer, and therefore she is pretty gnarled and weather beaten and kind of very simple and nondescript clothing, and can blend into a crowd. She's like, she almost looks like everyone's grandma that's kind of, you know, puttering around.
But she knows a martial style. Tell us about
Yes.
about that.
So she has always been a wanderer, worked the streets. She's never really had a home. She's done this her whole life. And through the process of surviving day to day, she's acquired some skills that sort of allowed her to be able to survive, and perhaps she was slightly cleverer than everyone else and was able to refine her craft a little bit better than others.
So what is the weapon, and what is this style that you've developed? What do you call it?
It's purely defensive. So she's essentially a defense, wear the opponent down, and then escape as much as possible. She doesn't do offensive moves. So therefore, her fighting style, I called it Ancient Grove, which is basically just the sort of the wall of protection that people can rail against but won't break through. And she uses a staff weapon.
And Wanderer, that move allows us that when you arrive in a place, you know some things, you know some people.
Yeah.
What have you thought about in terms of your other playbook moves?
So I used Royal Tramp, which is one of the moves, which you can escape a situation when you're surprised, which kind of fits in with the character. And then the other one is the Water Margin, which you can appear to have different allegiances depending on the situation and the people you're interacting with.
So you're an outsider, a wanderer, sort of outside the Wulin world, but a defensive fighter, which is a little bit different from how they like. Have you had a more antagonistic relationship, you think, with the world of these Wulin warriors and clans, or are you more excited to be part of it? How do you imagine that?
No, I think they're all stupid and silly.
Okay.
And therefore, I want to distance myself from that situation as much as possible.
And yet you get called
Yes,
into
yes.
these situations.
And yet I get pulled back in every time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And okay, and wood is the Stalin. All right. I think that gives us a good sense of who she is. We'll come back to you to talk about entanglements here in just a minute. So we go back to the start, like a carriage return, which is a reference that is now lost on too many people.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. So Dave, do you want to talk about your romantic or your general entanglement
Yeah, I was
first?
still trying to nail my romantic one down. I
Okay,
confess.
so let's start with your
Um,
general one. What are you
Yeah,
thinking?
so my teacher blank disapproves of me, which already kind of dovetails with my stated background so far, and my friend blah agrees with him. So who will be my friend? Jin Fang, you're gonna be my friend in this? You agree with my master that I'm to be disapproved of?
Sorry, I was trying to think about mine. Can you say
All right,
that
sorry.
again? Yeah.
My teacher blank, I'll come up with a name, just disapproves of me, and my friend agrees with them.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling you might. So,
Well, and let's look at the NPC tab. Let's get
Yeah.
that teacher character
Absolutely
so we can bring
agree.
them on screen.
Let's see what we got here. Iron Lion's looking strong candidate.
He's a classic.
Yeah, there's a reason he says that. Yeah, let's go Iron Lion. Iron Lion is in.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
that top guy?
Yeah.
Honored elder who's traveled to the tournament, probably representing the temple, maybe a little chagrined when you show up here, but does know you, and then does know Jin Fang. So that gives us that. We'll come back and talk about your romantic
Very good.
entanglement here in a second. Greg, which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, let's go. There is mutual unrequited love between blank and I because of my duty to blank.
Okay.
And so
Who is it that you and they have a strong connection, but you can't fulfill it because of essentially probably the duty to your superior within your office, right?
yeah, let's do Crystal Yeling.
Okay, so that is the person that you have unrequited love with.
Mm-hmm.
And who is your superior? Who is your overseer for your work?
Oh, let's see. I'm not seeing Wanderer Bro does not seem like an appropriate superior.
It is Bo, not Bro, but I'll give you that.
Oh, yes.
We've got a captain and a magistrate there.
Where's that? Oh,
So we've got magistrate son there, which is
Oh, yeah.
D40.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll pick that.
Magistrate son. Okay. So they're the person that drives you on your task, that checks in and tells you have no time for such affairs of the heart. You maybe made a mistake of confessing at some point that, and so now they watch you like a hawk on that kind of thing. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be too, is that maybe there is tax duties that I have explicitly to this family
Ah,
that makes it even more.
that family has evaded taxes for too many years. You cannot let her wiles turn your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We'll come back to you and talk about your general entanglement here in just a second. Max, what would you like to start with, your general or your romantic entanglement?
All right. So I think that my romantic entanglement, I fled from somebody because of a heartache, but somebody else, their lover, has called me back to honor a debt. So I feel like that's fleshing out my story a little bit. I think that, wait, where's the NPCs? I think that I fled from Iron Lion.
Ooh, okay.
I think that we had a romantic entanglement.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all coming
Perfect.
together.
The more Iron Lion, the better.
Yeah.
Wait, did someone else already say Iron Lion?
Yeah, he's mine.
That's great. That's a member of the temple who oversees
Great.
Li
That's
Baoshan,
perfect.
and that's perfect.
Yeah.
So this is
Okay,
probably
so-
something
Yeah.
that Iron Lion doesn't want necessarily spoken of. But
Right.
so who is Iron Lion's lover, partner, who has called you back?
I think that they are Perfect Cloud.
Perfect Cloud. Add that in. He down there, beautiful young man.
The perfect cloud. I'm not
So-
sure what the debt is. It's called me back to honor a debt. I guess I owe something to Iron Lion.
Yeah, we'll figure that out and play. We'll kind of
Mhm.
figure out why you've been called back, and maybe how that affair ended.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll come back to you and come up with your general entanglement when we come back
Okay.
around. Mindy, romantic or general?
General.
Okay.
I have to keep my ambitions for revenge against blank hidden from my sworn friend blank. So
Ooh.
I'm going to pick, apparently I have a beef with Captain Fang
Okay.
for something he has done to me. And I have a friend, Wanderer Bo,
Ooh.
we have crossed paths many times in our various wanderings.
Okay.
We've had drinks together too many times to be strangers. And so I want to keep him as a friend and a fellow companion. But I don't want him to know about my adversarial relationship with Captain Fang.
Interesting. All right. That gives us that. So keep in mind, you're going to want a PC in one of your two relationships. So you're going to do your
Mhm.
romantic one next.
Yep.
And you have to include a PC. Okay. That brings us back around to Li Beauchamp.
Yes.
What do you want for your romantic entanglement?
I rescued Dawning Joy from evil, but to my dismay, they seem only to have eyes for. Dun, dun, dun. Let's use one we were at. How about Perfect Cloud was in a mess, right? Let's put Perfect Cloud in there.
Absolutely.
I like it. Perfect Cloud.
Who is the current lover of your senior, to make that especially complicated. So
Yes.
like there's a Venn diagram there somehow.
Yeah, that's right. We'll figure it out.
Okay, that seems perfect. Greg, what do you want for your general entanglement? And this one you should include one of the other PCs in.
Yes, I have hidden that my sworn brothers inattention, so sworn brothers, blah, 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 inattention caused the tragedy which haunts Forsaken Crow.
Ooh.
And so I think I
Ooh.
should probably, so what do we have? We have Iron Lion, but he's not my sworn brother. Who's Ming?
That's me.
So we have Ming on the table, but for Sworn Brothers, we have Captain Fang as an NPC who's been established. Perfect Cloud is another one who's been established there.
If I pick Perfect Cloud, is that a little too tight with Perfect Cloud's already got, or Forsaken Crow has already got something connected to Perfect Cloud?
I think Perfect Cloud is called Crow back, and has probably hidden this. So this is a problem for Perfect
All right.
Cloud. I think that's perfect.
Cool.
To be redundant there.
Yeah, I got confused when she said General Fang. I thought she meant me, but
Okay.
there's another one. So that's
There is
perfectly
another
fine.
general thing.
Okay. In fact, we'll change that General Fang to General Deng. It's another classic last
That
name.
was easy. That was
Yes,
easy.
Make
easy
that
enough to
easy.
change.
Okay.
All right. So we've got your romantic for Forsaken Crow. What do you want to do for your general?
Despite asking them not to, Ming Young Sung has begun to ask Perfect Cloud about my past, and I fear what she will learn.
Does that work for you, Ming?
Boy. Yeah.
About my plan. Okay.
Does it
Because
work?
we got
Like
this
you,
about
you
perfect
so that
Yeah.
it, yeah,
You,
implies
implies you know
know
something. Yeah.
know
About my
Forsaken
past,
Cloud.
and I fear what she will learn. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can do this. I
Wow.
can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is some deep soap opera stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
There's like
That's
three
exactly-
levels right here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Perfect Cloud at the center of it. So
Yes.
now we know who that's going to circle around. So that brings us last but not least to romantic entanglement. What is
Yes.
Ming's romantic
Okay.
entanglement?
Hold on. Let me look up perfect cloud real quick. Okay.
How can we get perfect cloud messed up even more in this?
Yet more entanglements. I actually think that my initial idea was to have I was in love with B. Lo Shan's brother once upon a time.
Okay.
And he did not approve of the relationship because, you know, I was a nobody.
So
Let's see if we
uh,
can.
let's figure out who that
Who that might be.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So let's throw the Wrath is classic. He's an enigmatic hottie there with the mask.
Let's see.
If you want to make it even more complicated, that could be the current groom, Righteous Jade.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right,
Okay.
let's do that.
Righteous
Okay,
Jade.
Righteous Jade.
Are
Yes.
you okay, Li Baoshan, with it being your brother that is getting married and at this, being celebrated
Yeah.
at this tournament? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Brother, Righteous Jade. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go real quickly through our lines and veils, so we are aware of those. Again, we can add to these as we need to, but right now we have hard lines on torture by the PCs, ableism, fat hatred or shaming. Those are hard lines, things we don't want to see. We have veils, meaning we can fade to black or mention obliquely if it comes up. Homophobia, racism, sexual assault, sexual content, and suicide. Those are all kind of off screen. And then ask firsts on childhood abandonment, harm to animals, or harm to children. We'll check in if that would be a topic that we're going to hit.
Mhm.
All right, we are going to take our first break here. First break is 10 minutes. We'll come back and I will throw you into the mix. So take 10 and we'll come back.
Thank you.
So one of the things that happens with the moves in this game that's a little bit different from other PbtA games, a little bit different from other games, is for most of the things you do, when you go to roll, you'll choose which element you're going to roll with. You're going to say, I think this is what's motivating me. This is what's driving me. You're going to choose. And then you'll roll 2d6 and add that element. Again, we're looking for 10 plus is the best result. A 7 to 9 is mixed, and a 6 or below is a failure. Why would you not always roll with your best stat? That is because when you roll with a stat, sometimes you put it at risk. One of the things that can happen with the failure is that I have you mark that element. And once an element is marked, you can't roll with it until someone helps you out to help clear that element, or you take a scene in between to montage describe how you fix that. So that's sort of the logic of it. There are two places where you will use specific elements. Whenever you fight, either with troops or dueling someone, you'll roll with whatever your style element is that you've defined. And then whenever you roll inner conflict, which means when you come face to face with the challenges of your entanglements, with the heartaches that are presented to you, when you come face to face with that, you may have to roll inner conflict, and that you can't roll with your style element. You can roll with anything else but that. The last thing I want to mention here before I go too much further is in a lot of PbtA games, for the roll to find something out, the roll to ask questions move. In this case, it's called study in our game. In a lot of those, they have a set list of questions that you ask from. We don't have a set list. When you roll to kind of find something out, you can ask a question about person, you can ask a question about situation or thing. You can also ask the person's scale, which means, are they a better fighter than I am? Do I have to even the odds to be able to take them on? If you don't know that, you may end up fighting someone that is above your scale, in which case you lose. The other thing that the study move allows you to do, if you kind of like, I want to look at the situation and try to figure things out, you'll also have the opportunity to declare a fact, to establish a fact about the situation. Like, in fact, I think that this person is an assassin. I can tell by this. That's the kind of thing that you can declare, you can add to the fiction of the story. Just want to put those out there. All of you, in your various ways, for various reasons, are on the road to this tournament, which is to celebrate the wedding of Righteous Jade, who is older brother to Li Baoshan, and Dawning Joy. And there's going to be various contests, things like that, but the wedding is sort of the central feature of this. Tell me, Li Baoshan, what is like the symbol or marker or central element? Is it like a bird or a lotus or something like that for this event? Like, what's the theme?
Let's what would be a good theme for this? Yeah, let's just go we'll go classic crane theme.
Okay. So the crane feather tournament, there's probably a crane feather blade, which is to be the prize for the overall winner. There's probably a various feather themed prizes to be given to those who win various contests. Tell me, Jin Fang, where is this taking place? Where is it being held? Is it in woods? Is it on a mountaintop? Is it on an island in a lake or a river? Where is this tournament happening? You are muted.
You know, one of these days I'll understand that. So what I'm picturing is right. What's that movie? Is it crap? I don't remember. It was this old movie, but there's like this giant wooden structure with lots of platforms and posts, and the tournament is happening on this thing.
Okay, so there's a giant estate, multi-tier, probably spreads out. We can see those spaces in between the halls where they have the poles that people can fight on the tops of the poles and so on. It's very elaborate, well-constructed estate. Tell me, yes.
We'll say this is like on a mountaintop. This is like some sort of, or on a high plateau, right? Mountains around us.
Absolutely.
Vistas, good views.
And tell me, Forsaken Crow, what is the weather like as we kind of cameras coming in to start tracking our heroes moving up the mountain? Is it raining? Is it a bright day? Is it wintry? What do you think we're seeing there?
It's a beautiful day and nothing is wrong. It just feels beautiful.
The blossoms on the trees kind of hang in the wind. The petals go across there. And of course, because you love the wind because it tousles your beautiful hair,
Right.
catches that as it does. Tell me, Ming, how it is that you crossed paths with Li Baoshan. Like where did you meet down the mountain, or did you meet him at this sort of mountainside inn that you're at right now, or what?
I think we met at the foothills of the mountain on our way up the mountain to the little forest area. We encountered each other in a tavern.
And Li Baoshan, what do you think of Ming? Like, what's your impression?
I think she's a bit of an enigma to me. I think she's outside of my experience. And so I think I'm mostly just curious about her. But this whole idea of righteous jade, well, I mean, you don't know him like I do.
So a little bit of disapproval there.
Right.
But the two of you have made your way sort of at a halfway point. There's several paths going up the mountain. It is a beautiful day. And you've stopped. You're in one of those open air inns. And the two of you, Ming, do you drink wine? Do you drink tea? What is your beverage of choice as you stop here?
It's ale all the way.
Okay, so it's the most common of sort of fermented beverage that you ask for, and cheapest
beverage available.
And Li Baoshan, are you a drinker?
No, I'm going to say that his financial station and his beliefs are probably against too much of the powerful stuff. I think he's going to stick to tea.
Okay. So tea is brought to two of you seated down below. There are a couple of other people here. It's a sparsely occupied tavern. Ming, what is the thing that tells you that there are people on the second floor? There's kind of that open balcony second floor up there, that there are people that are up to no good.
I think it would be a sound. Like if we were kind of below the upper balcony and we'd hear the creaking of the wood of people stepping from one area of the balcony to the other, and there's the normal background noise of, you know, the muffled voices and things like that. But then I would, out of the, you know, din, there would be a suspicious scraping noise that wouldn't fit in with the rest of the general background noise.
A lot of people up there, footsteps
There's
are organized.
It's not crowded. Say it's like 50% capacity. Like people are milling around, but there's enough empty space around.
What do you do?
I kind of still for a moment and listen, maybe with my tankard halfway up to my lips, and just still for a minute and listen to see if I hear the scrape a second time.
Well, let's have you make a study move.
Okay.
What do you want to roll that with?
Let's see. That would be moves. And I can make that with any of my moves.
Any of your
right?
rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can roll. We have an online roller that is listed on the lines and veils. You're welcome to use that. Or
Okay.
if you have dice,
just
real
pulled up
dice at home, you can do
It's
that.
2d6, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I would call it Earth, actually.
Okay. Then let's have you roll.
Okay. That's a 7.
That is a 7. So what is it? You have one hold. What is it you want to know?
I want to know if I've heard that noise before.
Yeah, I think that you hear that scrape there, and you remember a pair of fighters, mercenaries for hire, that had these steel whips.
Mm.
And it's that sound, the sound of that crackle, of that metal scraping of that whip. You recognize it.
Okay. Mhm.
And to kind of fill this in, Leah Beauchamp, your drinking companion has been a little more probably talkative, and then goes quiet.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. I'll lean over and try to nonchalantly, in a low, not quite a whisper, but a low tone, say, "What's going on?"
And I will respond, there's someone in the balcony ahead, above us, up to no good.
Wow. Should we do something about it?
I think we should be ready.
I'm going to cut on that line. Over to our two figures that are traveling. As it happens, Jin Fang, you and Forsaken Crow met on the path up, and since you know each other, you are traveling together. Forsaken Crow, what do you think of Jin Fang, the official?
Well, I generally don't trust officials, but I do try to take advantage of them where necessary. So I am friendly.
Companionable, friendly, walking along. And Jin Fang, now I know you know some secrets about some things regarding Forsaken Crow and your friend Perfect Cloud's involvement with that. But what's your manner? What's your attitude when you run into Forsaken Crow here on the road?
Well, I would say very uncomfortable, because I know some things that that is uncomfortable for me about Forsaken Crow, right? I feel a little guilty knowing things about the tragedy that has befallen, that some bad things that's happened to them. But someone's nice to me. That's really cool. And so I'm definitely pulled in by that.
Okay. So the two of you are walking along, and you've hit this plateau, sort of staging before the next pathway up the mountain. You will see that there's a roadside inn. It's a good chance to stop and have a drink, even if it's just tea or water, to catch your breath before you head up. You will see that there are other people there. There's a cart outside that's loaded with coffins, and some people seated there having a drink, a little inauspicious in the sense that they've been asked to maybe to sit outside rather than coming in with the kind of burden that they have. So what are you doing, Forsaken Crow?
Well, I am noticing that in addition to this weird scene where there's a bunch of coffins and people drinking outside, that the weather is changing.
Oh.
You know, that beautiful day is shifting, and I'm hearing a lot of crows getting nervous.
Yeah, you have a bad feeling about this.
Yes.
Kind of stop. We hear that sound of that. We can see your hair shift as the wind changes. And you notice your companion kind of stop and look a little upset there, Jin Fang?
Well, I guess you're gonna need to be going. I don't want to disturb you any, Forsaken Crow.
Why don't you have a drink with me?
Oh, okay, sure.
And you will move to step inside. We roll back just maybe just a few seconds back to before they come in to Ming and Li Baoshan. You're both sit there like, okay, what are we going to do? And you hear a voice upstairs say, they're coming. They're almost here. And then the sound of scraping chairs upstairs and people readying themselves. What do you do, Lee? We kind of left on your moment there. What do you want to do?
Ming said we should be ready. I'm gonna look at Ming and say we should move now.
I agree. Let's get out of here.
Okay, so you're gonna make a move.
I'm gonna put my tinker down
Okay.
and stand up and move away, like sort of step back from the area
Okay,
so I can
get
get a
back.
greater view.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more towards the wall to kind of see a little bit up.
Yes.
And you will definitely see as you kind of move back, you'll see there's a couple of groups of clearly troops. They're pulling that bandanas across their faces. They're getting swords ready. And then there are a pair of these figures with whips that they've kind of gotten coiled, and they're clearly anticipating someone coming in. What do you want to do?
And they haven't actually come in yet, right?
Not quite yet.
I'm going
the tension
to
is in the air.
yeah, clearly. I'm gonna run for the door.
Okay. So I think that even as Forsaken Crow, you and Jin Fang kind of step in the door, you will see Li Baoshan moving towards the doorway that you're entering in with some speed. Li Baoshan, you see these two?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Oh, there's a trap! There's a trap!
Lee, what did you do this time? Lee, what did you do this time? Oh, God.
No, nothing's happened. But there's it's trouble.
And Forsaken Crow, how do you react to this?
I want to go back outside now.
Okay. All right. So you will step back out. Li Baoshan, you and Jin Fang are there kind of about to like exchange words. And I think that all hell will break loose. We will see these troops come running down the steps, and a pair of clearly more talented wuxia leap down, steel whips out in hand, and they're kind of looking in your direction there, Jin Fang. And as you step outside, Forsaken Crow, the tops of two of these coffins explode open, and you will see these two cloaked figures come flying out in a cloud of smoke, and they land with their like tiger claws on, and are approaching you. So let's start with Ming. Ming, this happens. Everything changes, crashes down. What do you do?
I'm gonna make a run for the door and try
Okay.
to shove everybody out the door. as
Okay.
much as possible.
I think to kind of change the situation to get people out before they can act, and they'll have a choice of whether they want to move outside, but it's certainly allowed to kind of change things up. I think that's an overcome action. That's an action to kind of change up the situation. What do you want to roll that with?
Let's see. Overcome. Oh, okay. I'm going to go with fire because this is not something I usually do very well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Please roll with fire.
Okay. That's a 4.
That is a 4. I think as you run towards the door, there's that crack of the whip, and one of these whip people wraps around one of your feet and like throws you across the room. You crash into some tables over there. Go ahead and mark your fire.
Okay.
And I think the wind is knocked out of you, and you're kept from assisting the situation over there.
You got it.
Li Baoshan, you see this happen. Explosions outside, masked figures, smoke, and then your companion is thrown across the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna run to Ming and help her up.
Okay, so yeah, you could easily move over there and get Ming to her feet. Is your intent to just kind of help her out, or are you surveying the scene, or are you changing the position? What do you want to do here? What's your
Yeah,
intent?
I think if I get over there and just if I quickly assess that she's okay, then yeah, I want to look up and see like the next protective duty would be to see if anyone's about to attack us where she landed.
Absolutely. I think that you will see a group of those troops is moving towards the two of you, as well as one of these whip brothers are moving in your direction. So right now you're kind of get Ming to her feet. You're set, and you can see those foes are coming your way. Jin Fang, what are you doing? You see your companion step outside, and then everything explodes. There are figures in here that are clearly coming for you as well. What do you want to do?
Well, Jin, one thing is he maybe like straightens his uniform, and he's just like, yeah, when things get rough, everyone leaves me to do the dirty work.
Okay.
And he's like, Li Baoshan, get back over here. Like he still thinks that he had something to do with this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but he's going to go to the troops and say, I'd say direct them, right? He's going to come in. I don't know if it's but he's going to come in and help the troops, right? Because as a government official.
Oh, so you're going to engage the troops. We're going to see how that rolls out here in just a moment. Well, I want to get all the positioning set up. What are you doing for Forsaken Crow?
Well, I have actually gone outside and have called in some help in the form of the crows that I heard earlier. And they are swooping down to assist.
All right.
Me and my companion.
So do you have a move for that? What are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
no, I don't really have a move. So, okay.
So is that kind of, is that sort of the fiction describe how you're fighting? Like you're using your improvised thing, and then the crows are kind of the color in the scene?
Yes. So
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you move to engage this pair. So we've got troops. We've got you moving to engage the pair. Ming, your Li Baoshan, you didn't need to be helped up, but Li Baoshan helped you up. But these people are coming in towards you. What is your goal? What do you want to do there?
I feel that I'm in a stifled situation and I need to exit out of the building.
Okay. So your intent is to move past. You want to are you trying to move through the troops and knock them aside? Are you trying to like go through a window? Are you leaping
Window.
up? Okay.
Yeah, like
All right.
go tangentially and out the side.
Okay. Then I think you can easily do that. Li Baoshan, you see Ming rush. Ming, you'll go outside and see a Forsaken Crow engaging these two warriors outside.
Okay.
But you are out through the window. Li Baoshan, what do you do? You've got this group of troops and this whip bearer coming at you.
Yep, I'm going to take a table and flip it over at them to deter them a little bit while I follow Ming out.
Okay. So we come back to Jin Fang. Jin Fang, as you kind of move over to his troops, you realize they're masked. Their blades are out. And I think it's that moment that you realize that they are here for you. And
snap.
they charge at you. So if they had been potential allied troops, you would have been able to use your authority. But I think that situation is not possible. So I want you to roll deal with troops.
Oh, deal with troops. All right, let me look at this.
That is a combat move. It's on the basic move tab for column.
Yep. All right.
Roll with your style element.
Okay, let me look at this real quick. Cautious, focused.
What is your style element?
Oh, the style. I don't pick. It's just okay. Yeah.
For that one, you don't pick.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. That's a +2. So. Oh, a 13.
So these are just troops. Tell us what it looks like. Like, what do you do? How do you dispatch this group of troops?
Okay. So my style is earth, cautious, focused, presence. I think I come up to them like to lead them or, get involved. Turns out they're not what I thought they were. They're coming towards me. And I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're not even competent, like, a worthy members of our government. I don't care about that. And so like, I'll take out my rope. We'll say the first one comes at me and I quickly dispatch him.
Yeah. Dispatch, swings around. You probably can grab him and throw him into another one of them. You can use your rope to pick up tables and throw them, and they go back like 10 pins. They're thrown every which way. But there's still that other figure, one of these whip brothers that was following up behind them. You have to deal with them in a moment. Let's come back outside of Forsaken Crow. We've got these two figures with these tiger claws. You want to engage one of them to engage in a duel here?
Yes.
Okay. Then singly right now, because they are not exclusively focused on you. If both of their attention were on you, they would probably be a higher scale, but they've got some other things to deal with. So one of these brothers comes at you. They are on the same scale as you, which means that you roll duel and you're kind of on an even playing field. You roll 2d6 plus your style element.
Okay. Let's see. Roll. So 7 plus 2 is 9.
9. So I'm going to tell you all about another mechanic that you have available to you. You have 2 bonds. Bonds are your relationships with people. You get 1 from each of your entanglements. You name a person, you have a bond with them. You can burn those bonds after a roll to give yourself a +1 on the roll. Represent you kind of calling on your inner reserves. So if you wanted to, you could say that you have a bond with someone and burn that to get to a 10+, which would be a full success.
And burning a bond, what does that mean?
Basically, it means that you draw on that connection, that energy that relationship has with them. You can restore those later. It doesn't mean breaking the friendship. It just means that you have friends and you call on the power of friendship. I hate to say it that way, but yes, that's what it means.
Okay, I will
Friendship
call on
is-
the power of friendship.
Okay. So we'll say one of those bonds gets burnt. What does it look like when you take out this tiger claw warrior who's leapt out? Smoke is pouring off of him as he comes at you. What does your style look like? How do you dispatch him?
Well, the crows surround me. Basically, there's like 6 of them, and they all come at once, and they attack this warrior from both sides, which is very confusing to him. And as the crows are attacking him from both sides, and he's sort of distracted by those things, I swoop in, and my arms become like wings, and my feet kick him, and he flies back.
Flies back. Are you going to show him mercy, or are you going to dispatch this villain?
Is there any benefit to showing him mercy?
Yes, you get to mark an XP if you show him mercy,
Oh,
but you don't have to.
Sounds slightly
it's-
disappointed.
yeah, it's within genre to do either in this case.
I think I'm going to assume that the crows have scared him enough, and I will show him mercy.
Okay, that's the thing is you kick him hard, kind of swoop up. We see that sort of image of the crow as you leap forward, and he's thrown backwards, crashes by the cart, and he's kind of getting up and eyes wide with fear. And you can tell he's going to run.
Great, thanks, friends.
Ming,
Mhm.
there's another one of these tiger claw figures out there, but then you're also hearing this fighting going on inside. What do you want to do?
Think I want to clear the field out here with the assumption that people are going to be retreating into this area, and we want them to be able to escape.
Okay, so you're going to engage this other tiger claw warrior.
Correct.
Okay, then roll duel. He is on your scale,
Okay.
and roll with your style element.
That's a 9.
That is a 9. Now, I will mention again, if you wanted to
Mhm.
burn one of your 2 bonds, you could get that to a 10 and look awesome. Or you could say with 7 to 9, which there are some choices on that
Let's see.
move.
Hmm.
Basically, the choices are to win at a cost,
Right, when at a cost.
lose, or deadlock, and you get to ask a question or declare a fact.
Ooh. I want a deadlock.
Okay. So what happens here? You're a defensive fighter
Yep.
with a
Mhm.
staff versus this super aggressive claw fighter. Like, how does that lock up here?
So he's basically, going in for the attack, and I can pin his claws with my staff and lock his arm into place so he can't move it. And then I have enough pressure to be able to prevent him from escaping or attacking.
Perfect. And what question do you want to ask, or what fact do you want to declare?
I'm gonna try to be as general as possible and
Sure.
say, what is this? What are you doing here?
We are not here for you. We are here for the tax man. And they kind of lock up, and you're like, okay.
The tax man?
And yeah, you know Jin Fang, but why would all these troops, all these people for him? That seems absurd. That doesn't make any sense. And yet And yet this person is determined to get past you to kill Jin
Mhm.
Fang.
Said Tech accent.
Back inside, we've got these troops in front of you, Li Bushan. We've got one of these whip folks. You see Jin Fang is battling with and has dispatched a group of these troops. Of course, Ming is outside, and you've heard the sounds of fighting out there, the cawing of crows,
Mhm.
and the ringing of metal on wood. What do you do?
I'm going to try and draw some of them away from. Well, freaked me out. This light was lightning for a second. I'm going to try and draw some of them off of Jin Fang. I'm going to grab a bunch of teacups and saucers off the table and just start frisbeeing them into the backs of their heads. I assume they're all focused on Jin, and
Yeah.
see if I can upset their decorum a little bit.
It feels to me like that could be deal with troops to take care of this other group of troops,
Okay.
to get them off the scene. Does that feel right to you?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Let's have you
Where's
roll
my
with your
roll?
style element, your improvised teacup tossing.
Okay. I had my roll. Oh, there it is. Okay. That is a 10.
Tell us how you look amazing doing this. Like what do we see? Everything that you do looks perfect in this. It
Yeah,
looks
it's imagine
like
it's
you
just
studied it.
right. It's just like super fluid and graceful and controlled, and everything just kind of whizzes out. In a just a perfect score every time, and they every time like it's just a staccato of breaking of ceramic happening on these guys' heads.
Yeah, hits, a couple of them go down because you hit a pressure point. A couple of them stumble back, but you've completely broken up that formation of troops, leaving the only two real threats in the room are these two steel whip bearing brothers, who kind of look at each other. You were unexpected. They clearly they don't know what has happened here. Let's cut back to Jin Fang. What do you do? Fighting outside, fighting in here.
Well, I'm inside, and these whip folks are after me.
Yeah.
Right. And they said they come from you. And I will confront them. I'm saying, I am honorable. I have no I've conducted myself honorably. I have no beef with you. What is the meaning of this? And Li Baoshin, get over here.
So does this feel like study? You're trying to draw them out to say why they're here, or are you trying to do something else? What's your intent here?
Yeah. I'm trying to get info from them.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Before I kick their ass.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. No bonus. Do I get a?
So here's your roll study. Choose which element you want to roll with.
Right. I am gonna do metal.
Okay.
Control, calculation, reflection.
All right.
Trying to maintain control over the situation. Oh, a 6.
That is a 6.
Li Baoshan, what did you do?
So I think you start to say something like, "What are you doing?" And one of these whips shoots out and wraps around your neck. And you start to talk, and he's pulled you towards him, and he throws you onto the floor. Mark metal, and you're on the ground, splayed out, completely vulnerable to their attack. Meanwhile, outside, Crow, you will see Ming has locked up this other warrior, and there's still fighting going on inside. What do you do? You're muted.
She's on my mic, so she's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is Crow right now.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
it's-
Crow.
yes,
Yeah,
Forsaken
sorry.
Crow. Mhm.
I'm thinking about what I'm doing.
Sure.
I'm still very filled with crow.
Okay.
The crows are gone now. They're not helping me. but I am, I have a lot of that of energy. I'm kind of spinning around, and so I think that, okay, so the guy is deadlocked in her staff.
Yes, Ming, you have your staff up. He's kind of locked. He's got his claws caught on it right now. There's that wrestling back and forth.
Yes.
Okay, so you're wrestling back and forth. Okay, so on the power of the wind through my hair, I kind of fly over
Mhm.
and whirl around the two of them and then pluck the guy out, and he lets go of his tool that is deadlocked, and he's disconnected from it. He's separated from it, and I throw him.
So this feels more like it's not an attack. You're trying to kind of change up the situation.
Yes.
Okay, then let's have you roll overcome is our move for that. What element would you like to roll that with?
I think with fire.
Okay, so let's have you roll with your fire.
Great, love that. Okay, roll. So I got a 6 and +2.
Okay, so I'm going to offer you. So it's a 7 and 9. It's a mixed success. Let me offer you as a cost that you'll get him pulled off, but he still has a hold of his weapons. Does that seem cool?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And he's locked up. He doesn't see you coming. And then suddenly there's this whirl around and he is thrown. He doesn't see who threw him and, lands on his back by the coffin carts. Actually lands in one of those coffins there just to make the scene better, and kind of is sitting up, but brandishing those claws. Ming, you've been given some space here.
Mhm.
What do you want to do?
I want to assess the situation
Sure.
to see if there's any more enemies.
Let's have you roll study.
Okay. There's no way that's going to be a success.
Uh-huh.
So what'd you get?
What'd you get?
I got a 5.
Okay. So I think you kind of take a look around and you see a little bit further up the mountain, this masked figure. And they see you kind of looking around, and there is that moment where they throw a dart that will hit you in the shoulder. Mark one of your elements. It's your choice.
Okay.
And I think you'll see this figure like vanishes up the mountain. You could tell he was watching the fight. He was observing this and hits you, stagger back, and he's gone.
Okay. Suspicious.
Li Baoshan, these two nasty fighters, and now Jin Fang is splayed out on the floor. What do you do?
I'll yell, "Let him go!" And then that seems like a nice thing to do. And then I'll sort of approach, but not actually attack the whip holder, but like challenge him, like dare him to attack me.
Oh, so that feels like hearts and minds. Are you like trying to get the attention and focus of the one who has your friend around the neck, or the other one?
No, the one who actually is that has the whip that is around his neck.
Okay. So this feels like hearts and minds. You are young, and you're calling them out. You're challenging them as cowards for doing this. What do you want to roll that with to convince them?
That's a good question. How about well, that's gonna have to be fire, I think.
Okay.
It's a pretty fiery thing. Let's see what we get here. That's a 6.
That is a 6. I think as you go to do that, the brother is there before you can act, and you are flung out the door. He throws you out the door to get rid of you, and you will hit the ground. You'll see the fight going on with Ming and Crow and the coffins, but then you see that another group has arrived, and you land out there face down on the ground, and you will see Dawning Joy, the bride, with her family there, and she sees you just absolutely thrown into the dirt outside of this inn.
Oh man, this is just getting worse all the time.
It is, and we'll come back to you in a moment. On the ground, Li Boshan was no help. The two people are going to kill you now. Jin Fang, what are you going to do?
Li Boshan is the Kurt Russell of this movie.
Yeah,
Who is that guy from
I can
Big
see
Trouble?
things no other man can see.
Jack.
Jack Burton.
Jack
Jack Burton.
That's for that. I'm going to do my bad John Wayne the rest of the night.
Yeah. All right. So I'm on the ground. He's got the thing around me. I will say, I'm gonna try to. I guess I tried to engage him, and that completely failed.
I think that particular horse is less disabled, as we say.
Yes. Okay. And okay. Well, what I'm gonna try to do is he attacked me with a rope,
A steel whip.
Steel whip. But I mean, he didn't realize he was fighting somebody who knows stern boa.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to try to use that whip against him.
Nice. So that feels like duel. The other one, had to put his attention to throw Li Baoshan out the door. So you've got a little bit of maneuvering room here. Go ahead and roll with your style element.
All right. Bam. 10.
Is it 10? What happens? What how do you dispatch this guy?
He gets it around me. I'm like, whoa, and I fall down. But caution, focus, presence. I maintain my composure. And we'll say as he comes up with me, I'll roll, roll to the side, roll around him. All of a sudden the whip is around him. Can it be around his neck?
Absolutely.
And I just go, Gah!
Oh yeah, and we'll hear the sound effect, the celery twist, and he'll drop to the ground there. And his brother with the other steel whip looks at you and cries out, and blood in his eyes at that moment. Let's cut back outside. Ming, what do you want to do? You've taken this dart to the shoulder. There's still this guy who has his weapons. There are some innocents who've arrived. And Li Baoshan, that did not look great.
Damn it.
So he's been tossed on the ground outside.
Yeah,
I'm right on my face.
Okay, he went to go help me up. I'll go and help him up to repay the favor.
So our this can be, if you want, we have a comfort and support move.
Okay.
That you can do to help people clear elements and things.
Sure.
Do you want to make a roll for that?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead. What do you want to roll that with?
And I pick let's see. Let's do metal.
Okay.
That's a 6.
That is a 6. So I do think that
really well.
think could help up. But I think as you're maybe going to say some words of encouragement, I think that you look up and you see that accompanying Dawning Joy is Captain Fang.
Oh,
General Dang.
General,
Dang.
sorry,
Yes.
General Dang, thank you.
Mhm.
Is there and walking alongside, who narrows his eyes and sees you, and like the look on his face is one of pretty much pure scorn.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So you've got him up. We've got some witnesses here, but don't so much help Li Baoshan's spiritual
I
side, as we say.
pull him up by the arm and then drop him.
Okay, perfect. Forsaken Crow, there's still some fighting going on inside. There's still this figure with the claws out here. What do you want to do?
I want to understand why I am fighting with the tax man and not against the tax man. I don't feel like I am fully invested in my side of this situation.
You could certainly stop fighting and kind of fall back if you wanted to.
Well, that doesn't seem very fun either.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ming has just helped Li Baoshan up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you guys are okay now?
Yeah,
More or
Eh,
less.
I've had
More or
better
less.
days.
Yeah.
And what about sorry, I'm forgetting the name. Jin Fang.
He's still inside with the other warriors. You hear some fighting going on in there.
As usual, has to do the job himself.
Is there a move I could do where I try to convince Ming and Li Baoshan to run away with me and abandon Jin Fang?
I don't think so, given that the sort of the genre expectations are that you all know each other at least vaguely and
Right.
have kind
Okay.
feelings.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think that I want to talk to Ming and Li Baoshan and try to strategize together if
Okay.
there's space, right? It seems like there might be a little bit of space for us right this second.
So yeah, Ming, Lee, you will see Crow comes over, and what is it you say to them?
I think we need to, so are there still military dudes outside?
So there's one assassin, the guy with the claws, who's still out
Right.
here, and there are clearly some people inside who are fighting.
Right, okay. So I feel like there's some way that we three as a group might have an advantage to be able to take the folks who are in the building, right? To somehow overpower them from outside. And so I'm wondering if we could strategize together about how to do that. Like, how many entrances are there to this space?
There are there's doors, there's a couple of windows, there's of course the upstairs windows. Yeah, it's a fairly open space.
But not enclosed.
Well, how about this? It feels like to me like you're kind of talking and maybe trying to reinforce your bonds, you know, companionship with the others. That the comfort and support move allows you to make a roll to kind of establish some bonds. Do you want to try and do that?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay. What do you want to roll that with?
Let's see. I think I want to roll that with water,
Okay.
which I get 0 additions to that roll. Oh, I got a 3.
Yeah. So I think you're talking, but it's kind of chaos out there. Their attention is elsewhere. And I think when you kind of take your eyes off him, that assassin who got thrown into the coffin. You see him look around, and I think better part of valor, you'll see him kind of lightfoot leap out and leap off down the mountain to escape.
Okay.
Li Baoshan, this day just can't get any worse.
Yes, I'm trying to remember my training. I'm trying not to let anger overcome me and frustration. I'm dusting myself off. I'm trying to retain any bit of dignity I have at this point. And I see that the assassin has leapt away, but we have a Whip Brother threatening.
Yeah,
Jin
you could, if you
Fang.
look inside, you see that
So-
flash of silver. You know that one of those whipped people is still up.
Just yell, Jin, I'm coming, and like run in there and
You
and
want to
then,
rush in and try and take out this last guy?
Yeah,
Redeem yourself a little.
Yep, I'm gonna get right in his face. I'm gonna just gonna wail on him.
So roll with your style element. That's dual.
All right. That's a 9.
Okay, so you can burn a bond to take that to 10, or you can choose one of the results: winning at a cost, losing, or deadlocking.
We'll go ahead and take that. We'll burn the bond. We'll just do it up.
Okay, so this is your redemptive moment. Tell us what that looks like. You see that Jin Fang has kind of stood up and is squaring off with this other whip person who's furious at him. You come barreling in. How is it you take this guy out?
Yep. I'm going to like fly through the air, flying kick right to the side of the head, and he just didn't have a chance.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, Jin Fang, you see Li Baoshan finally returns, and now he does something, and he drops this guy. Guy crashes to the ground.
I totally had him.
My apologies, Jin Fang.
I think there's kind of this sort of the dust settling, the chaos there. I think we'll see now the guards persons who are with the bride have kind of arrived to sort of take charge of the situation. And you will see a dawning joy will approach, look at you, Ming, look at you, Crow, and will say, is everything all right? Is everyone okay?
I'm going to avoid her gaze.
Okay. Are you two headed to the tournament grounds? Looks at you.
Who is
Probably
she referring to?
To Ming and to Crow out there, since you two are outside.
Right. Okay.
Oh, she's outside.
Yes, she is outside.
That's what I said.
I'll give a little nod and a bow.
And you, stranger? And turns to you, Crow. Are you all right? Are you headed up to the tournament?
Yes.
Oh, good. If you wish, my entourage is heading up. If you would accompany me, it'd be safer apparently if we all travel together.
Okay.
Jin Fang, you kind of get yourself together. Maybe you're still a little grumpy from what has occurred. Li Baoshan, you will see these troops will kind of move to gather you up and escort you alongside them up to the tournament grounds. Does that sound fair to all of you?
Indeed.
Li Baoshan, thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you. And he like pats him on the shoulder.
It is my pleasure.
And I think that's the point at which we kind of cut. We'll take a 5-minute break here. We'll come back and we'll look at what all of you are doing when you're at the tournament grounds, who you want to talk to, what you want to do, kind of get that first stage there. So let's take 5 and then we'll come back.
Good.
So he will move up the mountain to the estate. I think we get the big panoramic shots There's maybe some drone shots that pass over you as you go on the grand vistas in the distance. Everything here, once we get up to the estate, has been decorated in beautiful blues and whites and grays. The crane motif is everywhere here. There are representatives from all different clans and sects who are spread around, gathering. You can see that there are markers and things for the different contests that are going on: poetry, feats of strength, precision, all of those kinds of things. And of course, Dawning Joy will be greeted by Peerless Zahn, one of the hosts. You'll see Righteous Jade the Groom is there. And for some of you, you'll see Iron Lion, of course, who some of you know well, who will perhaps be a little surprised that Li Baoshan has come to his brother's wedding, given his place and position. But what I'd like to do is we're going to kind of, you can be drawn in different directions. And I want to give each of you a chance to call a scene with an NPC or with a PC, that afternoon or that evening, kind of go around and let you do that before we kind of look at the competition itself. Li Baoshan, who would you like to have a scene with?
I think Iron Lion would make sense. So I imagine bumping into Iron Lion in the proceedings somewhere unexpectedly.
Yeah. This is maybe an hour or two after you've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of gotten yourself a little cleaned up, and you're maybe settled yourself, like it's going to be okay. And then there's the sound of the heavy footsteps, and Iron Lion approaches you. Master Baoshan.
And I'll greet him back, but with only the minimum of deference.
I see your attitude, and from what I've heard from people on the road, your skills remain at the same level.
I have brought you in the temple no shame.
I think that is for us to decide, not you.
Well, I suppose there's very little I can do to convince you now at any rate.
Why are you here? Why have you come to your brother's wedding? You are estranged in good part from your family. So what is your real reason for coming?
I have every right to be here. I don't see that I need to have my reasons known.
Do not bring embarrassment to our order or to your family. There are forces at here that you are not aware of. I suggest you watch your step.
As always, I am very grateful for your infinite wisdom.
One question before I go on. Did you just happen to meet Lady Ming on the road?
I did.
He nods and doesn't say any more before he heads off. Let's cut to Jin Fang. Jin Fang, who would you like to talk to? PC, NPC, what would you like to do? What do we want to see here on screen? You are muted, and yet I can't see the mute thing on you. There you go.
I got multi-layers of mute.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
Yo, dog.
you know, yeah. Because, you know, I'm ready for 2 layers.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, I see Perfect Cloud, and we do some sort of like, you know, special handshake or something, right? Like, you know, just
Yeah.
like some sort of we're buddies, you know. Yeah.
I heard there was trouble on the road.
Yeah. You know that person that you kind of impacted that one time? I think they're here.
Crow is here.
Oh, is that their name? Yeah.
Have you told them anything?
No. Actually, we were gonna get a drink and then all hell broke loose. You know, it's not enough I'm a tax man and no one wants to be my friend. Now someone's
Enough of your sadness. I am your friend.
someone's yes, you have always been my friend, and that Lee guy, right? So there I got 2.
I'm your friend, and I have nothing but your best interests at heart.
Yes, thank you. But someone's trying to kill me.
He puts his hand over that. She looks shocked.
I mean, yeah.
Because you're a tax man? Or some other reason?
No, this was different. This was like guys with metal whips coming after me.
And what happened to them?
Well, I kicked their ass. That's what happened.
Well done.
Oh, yeah. Stern Boa works every time. But yeah, there was, I don't know, there was multi-factions fighting. There was some corrupt troops there that I dispatched single-handedly.
It sounds like your work was exemplary and amazing.
Have you heard anything? I mean, you always seem to.
No, I it seems to me you may be, I mean, you've been on the road, you face the hostility of people. I think you see threats, phantoms, and conspiracies where there are none. I'm sure no one means you any harm.
I bet you're right. I bet man. Yeah, this is. Oh God, how did I end up here?
Come and have a drink with me, and we'll relax.
That sounds good.
Excellent. And he will take you off to sit and have a drink.
Perfect Cloud sounds like an asshole, but that's okay.
He is at the center of a lot of things. So.
Yes.
Forsaken Crow, you've arrived here. You know, a lot of people look at you. You have that aura about you, and the wine that is here on offer is amazing. So what are you doing? What's the scene that you want to call? Who do you want to talk to? Oh, I think you may have frozen there.
Yeah, my internet connection seems to be going in and out.
Oh, sorry.
I really also want to talk to Perfect Crow, so I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this because Perfect Crow has called me back here for a debt, to honor a debt, and I really want to know what that debt is.
Let's take like after Perfect Cloud has interacted with Jin Fang, we'll do a scene later where he sends word to meet with you.
Okay.
And he will I thank you for coming. I appreciate this. I know that you and Iron Lion used to be close. And I'm sorry to trade on that to call you back for your assistance.
Are you going to tell me more about what assistance you expect from me?
I believe that there is a threat upon Iron Lion's life, that someone here means him ill. I don't know the details. I don't know the conspiracy, but I know it reaches the highest levels, including imperial tax officials. I would have you keep your eye out, and if I can uncover these conspirators where I cannot act, perhaps you can.
Well, you know that I owe Iron Lion my life.
So you will do this for him?
Yes.
Excellent. You are welcome to enjoy yourself, avail yourself here of the spirits and the luxuries of the tournament. And when the time comes, I will tell you what you need to do.
Thank you. Meanwhile, I'm going to enjoy myself.
Absolutely. Let's come to Ming. Now, Ming, I think we do trigger a move here when you come to a new place.
Okay.
So would you like to roll your move for that?
Sure. And I get to pick.
Yeah, whatever you want to
Let's
roll with.
see. I don't have much left. I'll do wood.
Okay.
That's a 10.
That is a 10. So on a 10 plus, you will someone will remember you favorably. Do you want to pick one of the existing NPCs? Do you want me to put somebody else on the table? Who is it that maybe you haven't crossed paths with for a while, who remembers you and what you've done positively?
Okay. How about I throw myself into this whole Iron Lion debacle and assume that he and I have crossed paths before,
Yeah.
and I did him a favor once, and he recognizes that favor.
He approaches you, perhaps not in front of necessarily everyone, but,
Oh, of course,
he
yes.
does do it publicly. He will say, it has been some time, Min Young Sun. I'm pleased to see that you still live.
Yes, it's touch and go from day to day. But here I am.
What brings you here? What brings you to the tournament? You are a masterful fighter, but you are not a fighter to compete in things like this.
No, I am not. I came because I have a question and I need that question answered. And that is why I'm here.
Well, is there anything that I can help you with?
Well, the person to which I need to ask this question is the groom. And it might be difficult for me to get access to him. So any assistance you could provide, that would be most helpful.
I owe you much. So if you wish, I will arrange a private audience with him if you want.
That would be most helpful.
let me see to that. I do owe you.
Thank you.
May I ask an impertinent question?
Go ahead.
Did you travel here with Li Beauchamp?
Met on the road.
He is a former acolyte of my temple with a spirited attitude, shall we say.
I did see that. Yes. The young ones, they don't know themselves yet.
I'm surprised you didn't go to him to get an audience with his brother, Righteous Jade.
I got the impression that they were not on the friendliest terms, despite being brothers.
That is true. That is true. Well, I will see to this, and it may be the next day on the morrow that I can make this arrangement. I hope that will be all right.
Oh, anything that you could be most helpful.
Excellent. And he will depart. And you may write down you have a bond with Iron Lion that you can burn. Let's cut forward a little. Because you're here at this tournament, this festival, this party. I think in some ways, it is a joyful occasion. And I think maybe despite yourselves, you'll be drawn into some kind of contest or competition at some point. So Li Baoshan, what are you drawn into? Are you drawn into a dueling tournament? Are you drawn into a demonstration of lightness? Are you wisdom, poetry? What do you think you're drawn into?
That's a good question. I think, sort of let's call it maybe a debate on temple philosophy amongst some of the different factions.
And is this something you're good at? I mean, are you in over your head, or do you think you've had time to think about this and develop something? How do you end up?
I think I am motivated by the fact that I need to show Iron Lion up a little bit, and it probably gives me more confidence than I actually deserve, but probably not bad either.
So it's a good performance, but perhaps a little pointed, like poking at Iron Lion, who is amongst the judging panel, and like there are probably some occasional laughter from people behind their fans when you say these things.
Maybe it's a little crass.
Yeah.
Not super refined.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think as you finish up and you're given a meritorious certificate for your performance, you'll see Dawning Joy, who has kind of been in the wings, will approach and will say, "I'm not sure I fully understood that, but you seem to have the attention of the crowd."
Well, it's only I'll speak to her, but I won't. I'll try and avert my gaze a little bit out of frustration. Don't want to over show that, but I'll tell her that it is my duty as a member of the temple to enlighten and inform.
May I speak to you as a member of the temple?
Of course.
I do not know how to say this, but I want your advice. I do think this wedding is important. I do think that your brother is a fine man, but my heart belongs to someone else.
I see.
What should I do? Should I tell him?
My brother is not a forgiving man. But to live a lie is a death every day.
If only I could know if Perfect Cloud felt the same way about me. Could I have
this is
you,
for sure.
please, mark XP and roll inner conflict?
Okay.
What do you want to roll that with? What's gonna help you hold yourself together?
That's a good question. I'm going to go with she's pretty upsetting. So let's we'll go ahead. I'll throw the water at it. We'll do water.
Okay.
And let's roll that over here. That is an 8.
That's an 8. So you have a choice here. You can mark water and hold yourself steady there. Or you can flee, retreat, kind of a little bit embarrassingly, like run away from this situation.
Yeah, I think I might flee.
Okay. What does that look like?
I'll get flustered, but try to contain it as much as possible and just mumble something about I'm not sure if I can help. And
your voice cracks.
Yeah.
And she's looking like up as you run away. Jin Fang, what kind of competition would you get dragged into?
Let's say that people talked about how much ass he kicked back at the bar.
And by people, you mean you.
One. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, just that one, just the one time, right? Just like,
right.
So yeah, let me think. Yeah, let's do that. Or let's say he does a demonstration.
Okay.
Right. Not necessarily a fight, but I believe they're like in wushu circles. There's like, like a performance.
Yeah.
They judge you.
Yeah. To run through your moves, your styles, the different stances, kind of a demonstration there. Like, is it impressive? Are you good? Is it unlike anything other people have seen?
Right. Oh,
is
you're
it?
asking me? Yeah, I would say yeah, I would say I then yeah, we'll say I do it and I'm like, this isn't working, and so I get someone to demonstrate on, and everyone's like, oh crap, this is some deep stuff.
Absolutely. Probably got like several of like the moving dummies around. We can see how you handle things, kind of moving, shifting them around, throwing them, with like incredible power to move them around. And you will do well. They will give you one of these metal crane feathers that has been made to demonstrate your skill. It seems like everybody is in a very good mood. No one says anything about you being a tax collector. Nothing like that.
Yes.
And I think as you leave, you will see Crystal Yelling is there, and she seems maybe a little like you haven't come and talked to her yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's here, and she will say, Master Fang?
Yes. I guess what's the right term? Like, is it is it Master Yaling, or what's the right honor?
I think just for this, we'll say Lady Yelling.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, Lady Yelling. It's a pleasant day today.
It is. I had hoped to see you sooner. I heard that when you arrived yesterday that you had been attacked.
Yes, my duties to the magistrate's son, I accomplished them in whatever form that is taken.
They are here.
Do not concern yourself. Do not concern yourself. I'm fine.
You're saying I should not care about you?
I
think
care
I
about.
think I want to see you roll inner conflict before you speak anything.
All right. Do I roll anything kept my style element?
Anything
All
except your
right.
style element.
Let me see. We'll do water, awareness, wisdom, flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how flexible he is. 8.
Hey,
That's, you know.
so you have a choice. You're kind of hesitating about this. You haven't really told her that you've been told not to interact with her. Do you want to mark water and keep yourself there and continue the conversation, or do you exit, leave, flee?
Jin Fang is, you know, doesn't shy away from difficult situations, Li Baoshan. So he marks water.
Okay. It seems like something is the matter. What? Tell me.
I care only for you, Crystal Yaoling. Yet my life does not allow it.
What are you saying?
Magistrate's son forbids that I see you.
I am not surprised, but I have known Magistrate Son for a number of years. And I know that they have asked my father for my hand in marriage.
Oh. We all have our duties.
Well, it seems you understand yours. I should go. And she will turn and go before you can say anything else.
Stupid.
Forsaken Crow, what kind of competition, contest are you drawn into to participate in?
I'm drawn into it's a display of skill in which I'm not sure what the contest actually is, but
Okay.
It's a display of my skill. As you can see from my picture, I play the flute.
Oh, okay.
And it's part of my improvisational fighting style.
Nice.
And so I want to be able to demonstrate this.
So do you think it's you playing a well-known piece with virtuosity, or is it you improvising a new tune on a theme that's called up?
I think it's improvising a new tune on a theme that's called up.
What is the theme? All like I imagine there are other musicians who are there, and there's judges, and they will give a theme and then ask you to play. What is the theme that you are given?
The theme that I am given is love.
Nice. And how do you do? How well do you perform?
Well, I perform so well that when I play, everyone becomes completely stupefied with love.
That certainly that emotion rings out among the crowd, and because it's a sequence of music in one of these shows, there's this sort of panning music video kind of look around you as you're playing, cutting from all kinds of angles. The wind comes, blossom petals come past, and I think when you finish, there's a moment of silence before the audience breaks forth in rapturous applause. And I think you can see it. You can see people looking towards each other. and with you know, renewed passion and renewed thoughts about love, and as you are kind of putting your flute away, you will see maybe wiping a tear from their eye, but you will see Iron Lion. And he says, Forsaken Crow, I did not know that you would be here.
Iron Lion, I may be called Forsaken Crow, and my heart may be broken, but I will not forsake you.
That song was beautiful. Was it for someone?
Yes.
I understand. Well, I wish you the best then.
And I you.
And he will bow and turn away. And I think there's that shot of him walking towards the camera, and then the shot of you. What's the look on your face when he walks away?
Sad.
It lingers a little bit there. The last flower petals kind of fall. And then there's probably the noise of the crowd starts up again. Ming, what kind of competition, contest thing would you get dragged into?
I think I would get dragged into the immovable object game.
Okay. And is it great, like boulders, or is it metal, or what is it that has to be moved?
No, it would be like, say, like I'd be in like a arena.
Oh, okay.
I would draw a circle around myself and have someone try to attack me to see if they could knock me out of the circle.
Yeah.
The heavy staff users,
Yes.
the blunt weapons, they will
Right.
take turns.
Someone try to just whack at me as much as they can.
And I think the first few, like you step into this contest, the other people who've come in have been like practitioners of iron skin and buff and even they have gotten knocked back after a few. So when you step in, there's a little roar of laughter.
Tiny little petite woman, as opposed to these, big bulky men that were twice or 2-3 times my size. And here I am with my tiny little staff.
And how do you do? The first few aren't serious, but once you stay up, the next they will take those swings. They don't want to be embarrassed, so they maybe are even swinging harder. How do you do?
I think I will eventually get kicked out, but I have enough sneaky moves to make it like one opponent past the beefiest guy.
The record is 12, and you stand up to that 12th, and then the 13th comes and they push you out.
Yep.
But maybe it's clear that you let that happen.
Right.
And I think that the crowd and you will be called up to the pavilion that's in the chambers to be granted your prize, and it will be gifted to you, and it is presented by, of course, your friend, Righteous Jade.
Righteous Jade, yes.
And he says, that was an amazing display.
I aim to please.
Come and sit. Come and sit. And like the curtains on the pavilion are closed so the two of you can speak privately.
Mhm.
Master Iron Lion came and said that you wish to speak with me, Lady Ming.
I do. I have a very impertinent question to ask you.
We have met before. I think we have spoken enough that I would not consider your speech impertinent.
I appreciate that. You may change your mind when I ask my question. But I
What?
will do so despite your possible ire. Why are you marrying her? I do not understand.
You have been able to live your life as you wished it, to travel on the road, to be outside of these things. I have obligations. I have duties. I am required to fulfill. My family has made this alliance, and I must fulfill my duty.
What about your happiness? I can't see you being happy with this situation.
My happiness will have to be that I know that you are out there living with the freedom that I cannot have.
I don't think that's very fair to put that kind of pressure on me.
No, I'm sorry. I did not mean to. That's the last thing I would want is to hurt you.
I'm having a really hard time with this. I have to tell you the truth about it. I don't approve and I don't understand. And I know that you can be so much better and do so much more than fitting into your family obligations.
Are you trying to convince him to not go through the wedding?
I am putting doubt in his mind. Yes.
I think this is hearts and minds. I think you're
Okay.
trying to make him hesitate here.
Okay. So I will do that. I'm gonna do metal. I think that's a 10.
That's 10. And I think that there is that moment where he draws the fan up to his face to conceal his expression. And you've given me much to think of. You should go. You should go.
As you wish.
And you can tell that you've gotten to him, that you've gotten under his skin.
Mhm.
And I think when you head out, there are some people who are clearly watching and maybe a little bit suspicious of you because you are just this commoner outsider,
Right.
and
Who has a suspicious close relationship with the guy.
Yes. Exactly.
And there's an age difference,
Very,
by the way.
absolutely.
So distasteful.
So let's bring, let's do this. Let's do another what? I'm calculating my time here. Let's bring the four of you together. That it's on the second night of this tournament. The various contestants are being honored, and they're being, taken to different areas to have a meal brought for you. And as circumstance happens, the four of you are taken to this sort of private building with a beautiful dining table on it to sit, and food and wine and tea is brought to you, so that the four of you maybe have a chance to converse here.
Mhm.
When the camera comes in and sees the four of you seated there, what is your attitude, Li Baoshan? Like, what's your impression? You could definitely have heard that Lady Ming spoke privately with your brother today, but you have other concerns that are weighing on you.
Yeah, been pretty unsettled by my contact with Dawn and Joy. I have to admit, it's hard to make that square. It's very hard. I should sit here and witness this.
So you're sitting there in your quiet, more eating, but not really saying anything.
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure how to. Jin Fang would probably just be even more reproachful. Ming, I don't know where she stands at this point. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of cornered.
Absolutely. And Jin Fang, what are you in a good mood, bad mood? What's your attitude here at this dinner?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of grumpy, angry with myself. But of course, can't process that fully, right? Like don't realize that. So I'm just kind of like, is this how life is supposed to be? Do I just tax people for the rest of my life and then I die?
And the table goes quiet. No one replies. They leave you in it.
Yeah, that's, and I'll be like, this is what it's always like. Whenever my job, my calling comes into things, everyone just runs away. And now, Magistrate's son's even taken the last thing I had, has taken that from me. Why even have a soul? I'm a waste of a human soul.
At least you have your stern bow to keep you warm.
He's super grumpy.
Forsaken Crow, what how are you feeling? What's your reaction to this angry outburst by Jin Fang?
Well, I've had this information planted in my mind from Perfect Cloud about a potential plot against Iron Lion by the tax collectors. And so I am all awash in emotion. I'm still sad. It's hard to see Iron Lion. I'm suspicious of the tax of Jin Fang. And I'm here to have a good time, God damn it. So I want to have a good time.
So
It's a little confusing, but I know that I need to disguise my emotions. And so I offer a toast.
And what do you toast to?
To love, to marriage, the joining of friends.
It goes over not particularly well. Lady Ming, Just sit there. There's toast goes up. There's still that subdued atmosphere here.
Mhm.
And the four of you have been put in like a dining area that's at the furthest point of the estate. So it's mostly the sound of you around
Mhm.
rather than the noise in the background of other, maybe in the distance you hear the revelers. But what is it that tells you that something is up? Like, what is the sign? Before it was that scritch of metal you
Mhm.
heard. What is it this time?
Maybe like, say there's twinkling lights around the eating area. And every once in a while, I'll see one of the twinkling lights go dark and then comes back again, as if some sort of shadow passed in front of the light, in between me and the light. And every once in a while, I'll see some sort of suspicious shadow in the background.
Yeah. And I think you kind of that builds up. And I think that's the point at which you realize that the servants who have been very attentive, refilling drinks, bringing
Mhm.
fresh food, tea, all of that, they have not been back here for a while. What do you do?
Right. So I notice the lack of servants, and I look around. I peek my head up and look around to see at any of the other tables I can see.
Oh, no, it's just
There.
you in this dining area. This is
Just
just one
you and-
room. You're out by
Okay.
yourselves.
Well, since the members of the party that I am sitting with has been attacked earlier, I will maybe get up from the table and pretend that I need to go, relieve myself and kind of walk out of the area and do a perimeter search.
Okay. So I think you'll move out into the area. I think you start moving away, and you will see Iron Lion. And he's there, and he gestures for you to come to where he is.
Okay.
Do you go?
I'll go.
Okay. And he says, I cannot believe that you would betray my confidence in such a way that you would attempt to destroy this marriage.
What is it about this marriage that's so important?
There are forces at work, and I am sorry that it has come to this. And I think that behind you, hear more movement, and you realize that there are people, troops moving, like servants, sect members moving in to circle that dining area, and that it is about to go down.
Okay. Iron Lion, what have you done?
It is what I have to do now. And he draws his blade. So you three are kind of in your sorrowful cups there, and drinking or not drinking and just bathing in sorrow, I believe, Li Baoshan. And then you see Ming gets up and leaves, steps away, gets kind of quiet here, and then you will see both of the windows kind of shatter inwards, and these round objects fall, and suddenly the room is filled with smoke, and you all have enough sense that you can suddenly feel the hostility and that there are forces arrayed outside and that you are under attack. What do you do, Li Bao Shan?
I'll yell, Jin Fang, they've returned, and like move to guard his back.
Okay, kind of said coughing, smoke coming, you moved to Jin Fang, what do you do?
I have nothing to live for but to serve the government and fight the forces of chaos.
Draw your weapon and stand there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, me and Li Zhongshan look like badasses.
Absolutely.
Back to back.
What do you do, Forsaken Crow?
I start playing my flute.
Okay. So suddenly this flute song will echo across there, even as troops smash through the doors and burst in. So right now, each of you three is going to have to deal with a group of troops. And Ming, you're out here with Iron Lion. And it looks like he's going to draw, but you hear that attack going on, that crashing, attacking. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna see what Iron Lion does. Does he attack me?
Yeah,
Does
he
he
is.
retreat?
He is clearly moving to attack you, to eliminate a problem.
Okay, I will take a defensive stance.
Okay. So let's have you roll overcome. You're trying to kind of keep control of your situation, of your footing, of your placement here. As he's coming in. He's clearly trying to change up the situation, like maybe get you into a corner position there.
Right.
What do you want to roll that with?
Oh. Good question. Probably metal.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Let's see. 9.
That is a 9. So I think that it kind of does that. Like he doesn't move you away. He's clearly trying to separate you from the others because he clearly recognizes that you're a logjam. You're a defensive fighter. He needs to get you off the field, kill the others, and then he and his allies can dispense with you.
Right. Afterwards.
But neither of you kind of have the upper hand, but you've kind of moved him off. We'll come back to you. Forsaken Crow, these troops come barreling in through the doors at you. Do you want to engage them, deal with them? Do you want to try and get out of the way? What do you want to do?
I think that my flute song is actually starting to work its way into their ears, into their minds, and they are losing control of their faculties.
Absolutely. So you roll. You're going to roll deal with troops. Essentially, that's the attack that you're using, the song and the smoke and the swirl, the intensity of that to deal with this group. So go ahead and roll with your style element.
With my style element, okay. I have got 11.
So I think exactly what you described happens. Like they come barreling in, but your flute music cuts through the sound, cuts through the crowd. It echoes, reverberates in here, and in the smoke and confusion, it will strike them. And these henchmen who were coming in to attack you, they fall back. There's something about that that drives them out into the cold night air, and they are dispatched just out of the way. Jin Fang, you'll hear that music start up, and then the group of these henchfolk come through coming at you. What do?
It's clobbering time.
So let's have you roll deal with troops.
Yeah, and he's gonna try to, the goal is, dispatch with them, but maybe get one and, have this person tied up and pull on the, I don't want to say torture, but like maybe get some information out of them.
Okay, yeah. But let's see how you do on your roll here.
Yeah, we'll go Earth. 10.
That's a 10. So
Bam.
absolutely, I think your sorrow. Now you have action. You have anger. You can channel that into something. And I think we see your rope lashing out, striking them through the smoke, and then smashing back. And you get your rope around the last of these henchmen, and he shouts out, "Magistrate's son, here he is! Here he is!"
Oh no, you didn't.
And let's come, Li Baoshao, these troops smash in. You're back to back. You kind of split. You see the rope go and out. What are you doing? What is it? What do we see you fighting with? How are you dealing with these troops?
I'm going to grab our there's a tablecloth. We have a tablecloth. I grab it and I twist it into a rope, and I'm going to in covering Jin Fang as the assailants come at, the troops come at us. I'm going to use that to attempt to sort of confound them. Yeah, I'm going to do towel snaps. Thanks.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about that. So I'm going to sort of trap their attacking arms and try to disarm them.
Oh yeah, trap the arms, disarm them, send them flying. You can do that. Let's see how that goes. Go ahead and roll deal with troops.
Wow, I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So
what are you doing over there, Li Baoshao?
I do not know what
So
I'm
here's
doing.
the thing. On a miss, you get to choose. Do you want their numbers to overwhelm you and you retreat, mark XP, or do you win at a cost?
I think what I'm going to do is they'll just say that the pressure of them in this enclosed environment is too much, and I'll just yell at Jin, they're overwhelming us. We need to back up.
Yeah, you kind of push back and you realize you're trapped. And I think you will see then come out of the smoke the figure of Perfect Cloud. And he looks at you as they're kind of pushing you back against the wall, and he goes, and he draws his blade. Let's come back to Ming. Ming, all hell has broken out there fighting. You hear the sound of that flute. Troops are flying backwards. People are shouting. Iron Lion is still trying to push you. What do you want to do? Do you want to duel him?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't want to beat him.
Okay. Well then, right now, he is on your scale.
Okay.
So let's have you roll.
Okay. $10.
That is a 10. So tell me what that looks like. Like, what do you want to have happen here? Because you certainly have the choice of beating him and showing mercy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ooh, well, I think maybe I'll exercise that. Like, maybe I caught him off guard. I viewed him as a superior foe, but maybe he's not as all that as I remembered him being.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to get the upper hand unexpectedly. So I disarm him from his sword and send it flying. And then like maybe twist his arm and tell him to start talking.
And he kind of he'll cry out, and I think you will hear from behind you a voice say, "You should let him go, Lady Ming. Your business is with me." As Captain Fang, sorry, Deng,
Yes.
has stepped out. But right now you've got a hold of Iron Lion.
Mhm.
I'm going to come back inside.
Okay.
Let's come back to you there, Forsaken Crow. You will see that, I mean, you probably can see from where you're at in the smoke. You've driven your troops away. You see that Jin Fang has moved like his fight outside. He's dispatched some troops, but you see another figure moving to approach him. However, Li Baoshan has not done as well and is pinned back by troops. And you see Perfect Cloud, and it looks like Perfect Cloud might be moving in to do something to Li Baoshan.
Do I also see Iron Lion?
Yeah, I think if you look around, you see Iron Lion. Ming has him held in his arm, and you see another figure moving up towards Ming.
Yeah, I'm confused about what to do because I am honor bound to protect Iron Lion.
Do you want that? You could do an overcome action to kind of get Iron Lion out of Ming's grip. Is that what you would like to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll.
Okay. Do I roll with my element?
You can choose whatever you want to roll, whatever you want to put at risk.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with fire.
Okay.
And I have a 12.
Oh, 12. Ming, is it okay with you? Does that seem dramatically appropriate?
Mhm.
That
Oh, yes.
Okay. So there is that moment when your attention is drawn by the voice of Captain Deng, and then suddenly Forsaken Crow comes out of nowhere and has grabbed and pulled Iron Lion away to safety.
Okay.
We'll come back to you two out there in just a moment. Jin Fang, you see coming out of the smoke and the darkness, you see Magistrate Sun.
Magistrate Son, I gave you my life, and you took the only thing I ever cared about.
She says, "You have not yet given me your life, but you will now."
Well, I guess I kind of gave you that one. I guess I kind of walked right into that one.
Yeah. So she draws out her, thin blade and moves in, and she will say, "You should have stayed away. It needn't come to this."
And I'll just say, and I just say to myself, like, Crystal Yao Ling, this is for you. And I enter the battle.
All right, this is duel. They are on your scale. They might be a little bit surprised that you're on their scale, since they certainly think they're your superior. But
Right.
Let's go ahead and have you roll.
Oh, yeah. Bam.
Yeah. So she comes in and she's fast. There's that initial volley of sort of straight line shots where she's kind of moving your rope away, parrying that because she knows what your style is, and she's pushing up. What do you do to kind of turn that around to like shift the momentum of the fight?
Yeah. Where is Li Baoshan right now?
He's trapped inside behind some troops, and a person is going to murder him.
Oh, okay. Well, as usual. Yeah. So
happens.
Yeah, she's doing she is anticipating my every move. And what I do is I'll say I drop the rope and do the same things, but I get closer in.
Okay.
So almost like some sort of like, more primal wrestling thing.
Okay.
Right.
Getting a
So
hold, bare hands, grabbing
Yeah,
on.
yeah. There's a new side of Jin Fang now. He's like thrown down the shackles of his station, and now it's just coming out.
Okay. How do you like, what is the finishing moment here? She's surprised you've got in under her guard.
Yeah.
Sorry, their guard, and they're moving around you, trying to get the advantage. You've changed your style. Now they're trying to figure out, how do you seal the deal?
Right. Well, what I'm thinking is I have Magistrate Son, my superior, and maybe me, well, do they how do I say this? Do they allow themselves, do they prefer death to dishonor?
Oh, absolutely.
And so maybe Crystal Yao Ling sees this,
Okay.
and Magistrate Son sees that she loves me,
Yeah.
and that I love her.
They said, well, when you knock her blade, knock their blade away, you drop them down. They're in, like, there's some mud there. Knock them into that kind of, and they're gripping. They're trying to get back up, and I think that they make eye contact with Crystal Yaling, who's coming here to talk to you, and she sees that, and you see that sort of that Magistrate Son, like the color drains from their face as they realize they're beaten, that you've absolutely beaten them. But meanwhile, inside, these troops are still pressing on you, Li Baoshan, and Perfect Cloud is moving forward. And he says, all of this has been according to my plans. Now, I just need a few more of you dead.
Perfect Cloud. What evil is this?
It's not evil, it's practicality.
Your practicality comes with far too high a price.
And these troops are pressing in. He's coming in. What do you want to do?
I need to turn the tables here.
Okay.
I'm going to perform an acrobatic feat and try to escape their cordon.
Okay. So essentially you want to get out from them so you can get in a better position to choose how you want to fight?
Yes.
That feels like overcome.
Right. See how that one works. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Now I'll make a suggestion before you roll. Have you already rolled? Have you rolled yet?
No, I haven't. No.
This would be a great time for a flashback to advice from somebody.
Oh, yes. Yes. I forgot about that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's an excellent idea. So we could be back at the temple before I was sent away, and maybe as simple as directly working on this exact skill, and not quite getting it.
Yeah.
Years ago.
And I think it's probably Iron Lion before the split, showing you how to deal with a situation like this.
Right.
Let's have you roll to see if you can get that +1 ongoing, because that'll last for the rest of the scene.
Okay. Yep, I got. Let's see. Let's go ahead and roll. Might as well go with wood. So I got an 11.
Absolutely. So you've got, like, this is what you need to do. And you fight this, a massive troops, figure you're trapped inside. Here is what you need to do. Iron Lion's words ring out in your ears. So in fact, you know what? I'm going to say tell me what it is you do to get out of that situation.
So in my desperation, I'm looking for a way out of this, and I see that there is a what should we call that? It's like a servant's gantry, right above where we are, and it's enough for me to make a leap and grab for, and I can do a sort of a flip off of that.
Absolutely. Grab the crossbeam, throw yourself where you need to be and get out of the way, even as Perfect Cloud goes lunging in, would have
That's it.
driven it through your heart.
Yeah.
You have a +1 to all the rest of the scene for dealing with this situation, and you are free. We come back to Ming. Ming, Forsaken Crow has taken Iron Lion out of your grip, but Captain Fang is there. Dang.
Dang, General Dang.
General Dang. Once I get a name wrong, I will get it wrong
Yes.
forever.
For the whole time, yes.
What do you do?
Maybe I should ask you what you have done, General Dang.
I have merely cleared house on dross like you who do not belong in the world of real Wulin.
That sounds like a challenge.
Then let's consider it so. Draws out the saber, the rings on the back of it, big blade, and moves to engage.
Mm-hmm.
He is on your scale.
Okay.
You may roll duel.
Okay. Clearly gonna use wood for this. Oh. I got a 5.
Got a 5.
That's
So
this thing.
now, how many bonds do you have left?
I have well, I have 1 bond with Iron Lion.
And have you spent both of your other bonds from your entanglements?
I haven't.
Then if you want to burn both 2 bonds,
Okay.
one with Iron Lion, because he's kind of put you into this situation.
No
and
kidding.
like, what's the other connection that empowers you? Who is that other bond with?
I think the other one is with Righteous Jade.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
this
might
is kind of for him.
This is kind of for him.
Yeah.
I'm giving up a lot of myself for his benefit.
So do you want to lock up? Do you want to win at a cost? Or do you want to lose?
That's a really good question. I'm kind of intrigued by losing just to see how this all will play out.
Okay. What does he do? How does he get the edge on you?
I think he's just so much more powerful and violent. Like, he's so aggressive that I don't have enough defense.
Yeah. And it knocks you down. You're off balance, and he holds the blade out, and he says, "And now I will finish my task," and raises it up to finish you off. Forsaken Crow, what do you do? You see this figure about to finish off Ming. But Ming just had hands on Iron Lion a moment ago. Maybe a little bit torn.
No, it's quite a conundrum. It's quite a conundrum. I think the truth is I don't actually want anyone to die.
Do you interfere? Do you duel General Deng to stop this?
Yeah, I think I will protect Ming.
Okay. And I like that there's a hesitation. There's a pause. We can see on camera that you think about it before you act. So let's have you roll duel.
Okay. There I go. 8.
Okay. So you can win at a cost. You can lose, or you can deadlock.
I mean, losing means Ming dies, right?
Well, Ming will have the choice of what Ming wants to do, but the death is certainly on the table there.
I think that I will lose at a cost. I mean, win at a cost.
Okay. I think,
How do I know what the cost is?
oh, I'm going to tell you what the cost is right now. I think that you will strike that blade away. You will
Oh,
throw General Deng back. He crashes to the ground. And that's the moment that you feel Iron Lion's blade stab you in the back.
Betrayal.
Mark an element of your choice.
oh,
Iron Lion, man.
Let's cut
Everybody dirty.
to
Yeah.
Jin Fang. You look back, you finish this, but you will see across the way, you see Ming on the ground. You see this general that you saw before has been laid out. He's grabbing his arm from where the crow style knocked him back. And you see Forsaken Crow standing over, and then Iron Lion steps up and runs them through with the blade.
Where
Meanwhile, inside, you can look over and you see these troops that are trying to get at Li Baoshan, and Perfect Cloud is there, clearly orchestrating all of this.
oh, that son of a bitch. So, disappointed in Iron Lion. That doesn't look good, but I need to save my, well, Perfect Cloud was my buddy, but one buddy's beating the other buddy. So I'm gonna go help Li Baoshan.
Okay. Do you want to attack Perfect Cloud? Do you want to deal with these troops that are pinning him in? What do you think?
I will attack Perfect Cloud.
Okay.
I will say, call them off.
All right. So you go to engage Perfect Cloud. Let's look at the rules for what happens when you engage someone who's a higher scale than you.
I didn't know those people existed.
Oh, they do. So
All
if the foes, if your scale is higher than your foes, if you're below, we still roll, but let's see it. Let's have you roll.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, wait, you lose no matter what, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna be rocking the stern boa.
Okay.
Oh, a 7.
Okay. So you get to tell me like what happens, how you lose. You get to keep a little of your dignity here.
Okay.
But you still need, but you need to mark an element.
The element that I just used, right?
No, actually, in this
any.
case, you can choose. It's choice. You get to choose which
Okay.
one.
Well, can there be a benefit? Can there be a positive side effect of me losing? Or no, this is just we'll
you
find
lose,
out.
but you get to
Yeah.
say like how it happens. Do you want to
Yeah.
do you want to change
Okay.
the location, or do you want to do something like what do you want to have happen here?
Oh yeah, okay. What I'm gonna do is my intention is to help Li Baoshan because he obviously needs it. And so, yeah, I lose by drawing everybody's attention away,
Okay. So
and I am overwhelmed.
yeah, the troops overwhelm you. You get his attention. He's has to be forced to attack you. Li Baoshan. Jin Fang has sacrificed himself to give you one good shot at Perfect Cloud. You can see from his movement, from his skill, that he could take you, but now Jin Fang has given you a moment.
It's perfect. So yeah, I will take advantage of that and strike it.
Okay.
Perfect Cloud.
Roll with your style element.
I got a 12. A 12.
12.
A 12.
Okay.
So tell me what that looks like. How is it that the combination of Jin Fang and your attack manages to pierce his invulnerable defense?
I imagine that the amount of time he gave me allowed me to find get access to a spot, an open spot on his neck, I can strike at to paralyze him.
Yeah, there'll be that moment where he's kind of raising up, he's turning, and you hit him that sort of that quick, rivet shot there on the nerve clusters, and he will. And are you showing him mercy when he falls?
Yeah, we need to.
We need to get info.
Yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will.
Mhm.
He will
After a fashion.
crash to the ground. Ming,
Mhm.
you saw Forsaken Crow
Get
step up to
stabbed.
save you, drops you back, but then Iron Lion betrays their trust.
It's cold.
What do you do?
What's General Dang right now?
Oh, he's down.
He's
He's
down.
down.
Down. Forsaken Crow
Mhm.
dealt with him. His
Okay.
he's nursing his arm. He's trying to probably crawl away at this point.
Okay, I will attack Iron Lion. I
Okay.
can't let that go unrecognized.
Trying to disarm him? Are you going for lethal combat? What are you trying to
I'm
do?
gonna try to disarm him.
Okay,
And
let's have you roll duel.
okay. 9.
That is a 9. You have 1 bond left.
Okay.
Do you
I'm
want to
gonna
spend it?
Oh yes.
How is it that you like knock his blade away? Like what happens? Does it break? Does it fly somewhere? What do we see?
I think it flies off into the corner.
Comes out, Forsaken Crow's blood still on it,
Mhm.
the thing. And Forsaken Crow, you can turn around and you see him. What do you do?
What's my condition?
You're still up. You're just hurt.
Okay.
You can tell me if you're dying or not.
No, I'm not dying. I'm shocked. I feel betrayed. And I see Iron Lion. And I say, that song was for you.
Oh,
Oh.
I think he sees the look on your face, the look of disappointment and broken love. And I think that shatters him to the core. He falls to his knees. He drops his hands to his thighs and he weeps. So now we go to the epilogues. That is our movie. We go to the epilogues. Let's go around, essentially narrate what we see for your character in the immediate aftermath or down the road a ways, some scene that we see in the end to kind of give us a sense of where they go from here. Li Baoshan, what is your epilogue?
Well, after that mess, I think he realized. I think he grew up a little that day. He realized that the world's a bigger and more messed up place than he ever learned about in Temple, and a lot of things that he had just chosen to ignore were no longer ignorable, and that Iron Lion was kind of right. I really did need to walk the earth and find greater wisdom because I don't know enough to understand what was going on there. So I imagine him spending years and years going to reaching the ends of the earth, constantly looking for answers.
The montage of you going through different environments, beard and then not beard, hair changing color, all of that going on, finding yourself.
That's right.
Jin Fang, what is your epilogue? What
Yeah.
do we see for you?
it starts with, we'll see Jin Fang and he's sitting down and, we'll say he's wearing this old tattered tax collector coat
Yeah.
and nobody's talking to him. And he's just sitting there and then he gets up and he's pushing some sort of cart. But then as we see, people are smiling and waving at him. And then he eventually gets to a farmhouse and Crystal Yao Ling is there with their children. And so he rolls in and he's, growing rice,
Perfect. That we see that kind of sunset on the domestic scene there. Forsaken Crow, what is your epilogue?
I wander off far from this place, far from this place. And I'm alone, walking down a road, playing my flute. The crows are following me, hopping from tree to tree, flying around. And I enter a new town and I encounter a bar and I see someone outside and I say, come have a drink with me. And we enter the bar.
Beautiful. Maybe the song we hear is a variation of the one you played at the contest, an evolved version of that. Lovely. Ming, what is your epilogue in the face of all of this? What happens?
I'm pretty much decided that I'm gonna break up this marriage.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. So how do we know that? Like what do we see happen?
So I think clean up the mess. Perfect Cloud is disgraced and Iron Lion is disgraced, and I have a little heart to heart with Dawn and Joy just to say you need to go find yourself because all the men around you are all jerks.
I'm still available.
And
I'm out there.
And do we see you?
Yeah, go hook up with Lee Beauchamp. Yeah.
Do we see you on with Righteous Jade then?
No. So I've decided that I love him enough to let him go. And so, but I want him to be happy more than anything and safe. So I break up the marriage, send him on his path, and then I continue on my way.
Perfect. And that's our movie. That's our show. That is our episode of this. Thank you all very much for coming and playing. I went a little over on time. But usually I run pretty close. I'm going to stop the recording here.